Welcome to Dungeons & Gamers, a D&D podcast that is both real play and monthly. I'm Bryce, and I play the half-orc ranger, Fergus Bog.
I'm Erin. I play the wood elf bard, Cookie Kebler.
I'm Beckers. I play the human barbarian, Bear.
I'm Matt. I play the tiefling sorcerer, Morthos.
I'm Darian, and I play Belladonna, the high elf rogue.
And I'm Katie Quixotic, and I am your storyteller for the evening, or whatever time you're listening.
Last time on Dungeons & Gamers.
Fish pirates. My mom warned me about them. They told me in Far Away there was fish pirates roaming the waters, and she fought off a pack of 50 of them at once. I didn't think I'd see them for myself, and I guess technically I haven't. They're roaming the waters. Belladonna went in after them, I'm not sure, but Cookie tried talking to them. You don't talk to fish pirates, you stab them. That's what my mom told me, and my mom knew about fish pirates. So I'm trying to fish Belladonna out of the water because you don't go in the water with fish pirates. There's like 7 things my mom told me about fish pirates. One of them was don't go in the water. Number 2 was stab them. And other things will come up later that I will remember. But right now, get Belladonna out of the water is mission number 2. 3 is stop talking to them. And somewhere in the middle, we're going to stab them. And that is the plan. Go team.
And also...
So, I don't know exactly what's going on, but what I do know is that I could die very soon. I don't know if what I'm experiencing is real or not, but I am not a fan. Apparently, in whatever I'm experiencing, I am the daughter of Thassa. That sounds made up. I don't know what's coming next, but I did all their tests, and now I'm supposed to be able to see my sister. And I don't know what comes next. But guess we're here for the ride.
And that brings us to now.
So we pick back up with the party strewn about the ship just a little bit, engaging in the various tasks that Fergus set them to, with the exception of Belladonna, who is currently out in the water, and for the moment contained by the contraption that Fergus made. The last interaction between the creatures in the water and anyone on the ship was the scream that pierced everyone's thoughts as the contraption successfully captured, maybe not the exactly best term, but is in the process of retrieving Belladonna. So, let's start with the reactions, if any, to the scream. And we'll do everyone first, and then I'll tell you what is happening for you, Belladonna.
I think Fergus is just very focused on like pulling Belladonna out, and the scream is just more incentive to just work harder.
Sensible. I think, Cookie, we'd kind of talked about you feeling like lost or something, like this was like a turning point where it seemed like you were making progress, and it felt like that kind of slipped away from you a bit, right?
Yep. Cookie is definitely really like sad and distraught. She felt like she was making some headway, maybe connecting with them a little bit, and then hearing the scream, and I think she looked over and saw kind of Fergus and Bear doing something that obviously upset them, and then she just kind of turned back and just kind of fell onto her knees and was like, no, no, because she was hoping to not have to piss him off, basically.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's feeling real sad right now.
Anything special going on for Morthos?
I think he's just kind of frozen. I guess similarly to Cookie, right? Like, he was trying to be investigative, right? Trying to figure out what the captain knew once he realized, something was going on. And I think at this point, right, he's not springing to action, so he's more afraid, right? And kind of frozen with what do I do? What can I do?
That's fair. How you feeling, Bear?
I remember that I was pulling on ropes, and that's it. I feel
fair.
I'm having a very relaxed time.
Just getting a little workout in. One morning workout.
I remember I did some really cool acrobatics recently, so I'm still feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, there's probably like as you're pulling on the rope, easily, if I look at I could just glance at your last athletics check. There's a little bit of like a sting in your hands from the kind of like rope burn that you had gotten, but it's almost like a sense of pride because you remember how cool that was. So, Belladonna, you were peering into some murky depths and had started making your descent into them when you felt like you were being pulled back. It's like you could feel yourself being like restrained and drawn away from the place you were told to go. And there's this shriek that almost feels like it's coming from the direction of the person, the entity that led you here, Celia. And there's this like fuzziness to your vision, and it almost seems like it's just that things were getting dark because you're peering into the darkness. But there's a pinpoint of light off in the distance that is a bit confusing until it spreads and you get this scent of like salty ocean air. And then your senses kind of unfuzz. And you are still in the form that you were before. But now you've got some sort of contraption around you. There are ropes as a part of it. You seem to be ensnared in some kind of net of a sort. And there is Celia there, looking a bit different than before. But you can tell that it's her because of the facial features. And a few others that look vaguely familiar to you from what you were experiencing. And then you see the ship in the distance. And you haven't forgotten anything. So that makes perfect sense to you. Like you know what that is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm in this contraption. So I can't, am I like all wrapped up?
You describe it, Bryce. Do you remember?
It was basically the way I picture it was like a net that we like attached a long rope to that it would just basically drag. It's almost like how you kind of fish, where you kind of like pull the fish in along and then drag them out. I used locate object so that I knew roughly where she was going and tried to put the net behind her so that she would whack into it and then we'd rip it back out. Was what we had done.
Trawling.
Yeah.
That's the name for it. I had to Google it. I was like, there's a word for this.
Yeah, so that's basically we had her in there and then we pulled the like last thing was us pulling up. So yeah, we would have wrapped around her because with like the open end is where we pull and it seals.
But I still got like a fin and gills.
Yeah, you look down and you are still in mer form.
And now that I've got a little bit more clarity in my senses, do I also feel more clarity in my mind? Like I'm able to remember the ship and I recognize the people around me, but like, am I able to put together what's going on? Or am I in a state of confusion now that I've been yanked out? Like,
So I think because you are elven, it was difficult for you to understand at first because typically it's very difficult to charm someone of elven ancestry. And that makes a lot of the different sort of not mind control, but like illusionary magic. It all involves like tricking your senses, and that's typically harder to do. But you're recognizing now in these moments afterward as that sort of not even just fuzziness of your sight, but like you said, fuzziness of your mind is fading away, that there was a distinct dreamlike or trance, like deep trance like feeling to that. And although you had agency in your actions during that, it definitely feels like there was a staging to it, like something was in your mind and feeding you information
Cool.
of a
Okay.
magical nature.
Is it easy for me to see in this net, or is it a pretty thick net? Can I tell I'm being pulled toward my friends?
Yeah, I would think that would be easy to see. Yeah, I think it's like the sort of like bigger, wider net for like a larger marine creature.
Okay. So then I would probably try to grab on to the net, and then if I can do anything to move toward the ship faster or to help ease their pull, I would go into that. I'd lean into that.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like wrapped around you, but being that you still have fin tail, you could kind of like grab onto it and do like a swim to help ease the drag. So
Yep.
go ahead and do just a general like acrobatics or dexterity based roll.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of
Probably
hand.
not sleight of hand, but you know.
Sleight of feet.
I rolled a 19.
Nice. I'm going to roll something. 1 moment.
Secret roll. Secret tunnel.
Always. Secret tunnel. Okay. As you make this quick motion to start moving towards the ship, you feel hands that were like reaching out as if to grab like the very like edge of like your tail fins, but you can feel them slip away from their grasp would be a better way to say that. And anyone that's on that sort of back of the ship or like Fergus and Bear can see that there was one of these creatures kind of like lunged as Belladonna seems to have come to her senses, at least to some degree, and seems to be heading back towards you instead of kind of like frozen and fixed the way she was before, like moving around very like oddly. So what do we have? What were you doing before? Were you each rolling athletics, or were you having Fergus help Bear?
I believe I was helping Bear because
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Bear's got the highest strength.
Bear real strong. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make another athletics check at advantage since you're being helped, Bear?
Okay.
There's still, by the way, there's still sort of like chaos on the ship as different people seem to be in different stages of realizing what's going on, different stages of having faculties or not over their abilities and their senses. And there is like awareness to what's going on. And as a reminder, you are sailing towards something in the distance that does look vaguely magical and like also sharp rocks. So yeah, that's happening.
The portal thing. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 20
Nice. Okay.
because I am big and
Dirty
strong.
20.
So with the you already weren't having a difficult time pulling her in. You are quite strong, but with the change and the assistance, not only from Fergus but from Belladonna herself, of kind of like reducing the drag, the progress that you were making before is like tripled at this point. as you're pretty speedily pulling her along. And you do see two of the creatures kind of break off from what they were doing before in pursuit. But they're not like running, not running obviously at all. They're not swimming towards the ship so much as they are swimming towards Belladonna. Did we have an initiative from before?
No,
I didn't
we
think
never
so.
rolled initiative.
Yeah, I feel like we were doing things pretty freely because there wasn't necessarily like nobody had taken specific combat intentions. So I was kind of just letting you say what you wanted to do and making sure everybody had like the opportunity to do that. So if anyone else has anything specific they want to do at this juncture, we can move forward with that. Anyone watching can clearly see that progress is being made in terms of retrieving Belladonna. So if you have anything you want to do, let me know. And if not, we'll do one more roll from Bear.
I guess I'm just wondering, is the creature Cookie was talking to still there, or did they go back in the water and are they gone now?
They, after the scream, they had initially directed their attention towards the ship and looked quite upset, but like angry upset. And they are now a bit distracted. They've taken notice of Bella kind of making her exit. And they seem like they are like the ringleader of some sort. They're not doing a lot of action themselves, but seem to be directing. Although it doesn't look like there's a lot of communicating going on. So you, especially I think since you were keeping an eye on them and you were talking to them at this point, Cookie, I think you could surmise that there's some sort of telepathic communication.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's just what I was wondering, if they were still there.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically,
Angrily watching. Go ahead.
yeah, I guess all Cookie would maybe do is, she's kind of looking out, all sad, and she's just like, we just want our friend, please. Once she's back, we'll leave you alone. It's probably what she would say if they're still there. Yeah.
Okay. Her attention does briefly turn back to you when you're talking, since you had been engaging her previously. She doesn't respond.
Okay. Well, then Cookie will probably, just, I guess I'm not sure. Yeah, you can carry on.
Okay.
I think if Fergus heard her say that, he's going to shout, "We've got her! Grab your knife, we gotta stab him! Fish pirates! Cookie! They're fish pirates, you stab them! Stop talking!"
It's like Cookie will definitely hesitate to do that.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Bear, why don't you go ahead and make another athletics check at advantage, and Belladonna, go ahead and make me one more acrobatics roll. Anything special for Morthos, or is he just still pretty overwhelmed at what's
He's vibing.
chaos is going on right now?
He's kind of vibing, right? Like not in a good way, but
yeah.
Not a
Vibe
good
check.
vibe.
he was hanging out with Captain Bart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Who is steering? Yeah.
he's steering, but yeah, I think he's probably playing off of his whatever he's kind of putting out, right? Like he's afraid because of the answers he gave him before. Now this is happening. So
Mhm.
I think he's kind of following the captain's lead as far as that goes, right? Like he's just gonna hang by him, and like you know what you're doing. You're in charge here. Like figure this shit out.
You know how a boat works.
Yeah.
You know how a boat works? He had come out kind of like Captain Jacket swinging, making, giving orders. And when he noticed something was amiss with the helms person, did go and take over that. And you, as you're vibing with the chaos and with Bart, you've noticed that you're correcting course away from Portal and Sharp Rocks and such.
I rolled a 15.
And I rolled a 22.
You again feel a couple of pairs of hands sort of trying to grasp at your flicking tail, Bella, but just between your natural grace and athleticism and the attempts of escaping, you feel yourself slip from their grip. And Bear and Fergus you're all making great headway. She's basically all but back on the ship at this point. And it looks like although there was the pursuit seems to be kind of like dying off. They did make sort of like one final attempt, but it seems like as they have had trouble getting their hands on you and you've been speedily moving away, they're kind of trailing behind the ship now, whereas they were able to keep up with it before.
We ditched them.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan to hoist her back up onto the ship? Just like lift the net up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I imagine that's typically how you get the fish out when you troll, is just pull.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I was like, what are our other options? I just yeet her upwards or
The only reason I ask is because sometimes people have a very specific idea in their mind of what they're going to do. And so it's kind of like anything special? No? Okay.
How are we going to secure me in the net? Because as far as I can tell, it's a relatively open net, right? So like my bottom isn't in it.
You're being it's being pulled shut by us pulling it. It's kind of like a drawstring bag.
It's like a cinch. Okay, got it.
It cinches when we pull it tight.
Gotcha.
So it's not open
so
once.
I don't have to worry. I just have to make sure I am getting into the net. I'm not going to need to hold myself in there because I have a strength of 8. So grace and agility, sure. Holding on, maybe not so much.
Bear is doing the strengthen for all the people.
For everyone, yeah. Yeah, it's basically like if you were to lay on the ground and like over a blanket and people were to pick up the two sides of the blanket and lift, you're like wrapped up in it like that. So as long as they've still got pressure going, you're going to be in there from either pressure of water and them pulling or pressure of gravity and them pulling. So you shouldn't just topple out.
Cool.
And yeah, you managed to kind of like hoist her up onto the ship, still in mermaid form, and can set her down however you see fit.
Unceremonious plop.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it probably just like pulled them in and then it just like dropped it like you would a big bag of fish.
And then I come toppling out, like, flop around a bit.
Yeah.
I think like the second the net made it back in the water, Fergus is reaching for his bow and he like looks at her and notices she's still like mermaid-y and he's like, they stole her legs. We gotta kill them and get her legs back.
Oh, not stab her.
Oh God. Please don't stab me.
And he starts like brandishing his longbow towards the water.
Yeah. The ship is constantly moving, and since they've lessened any kind of pursuit going on, they're still well within longbow range. You could absolutely start taking some pot shots at them as you pull away, especially if you want to like deter them from like picking it back up or something like that. Totally up to you.
Just for shits, can I roll to see if I can figure out how to unmermaid her?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Hold on. Wait, you're not even going to ask?
No.
What if I don't want to be unmermaided?
Well, that's too damn bad.
You're a fish. Then you're a fish pirate and we'll throw you back.
Legs.
And then we're going to stab you.
And here's where we found out that her lifelong dream was always to become a mermaid.
Fergus got a 5.
My story could end here, and I'd be fine.
Fergus got a 5 on his Arcana, so I'm going to
You
say...
have no clue. No clue what to do. She looks like Bella.
Maybe if we cut the tail off.
Yeah, are you contemplating that? Yeah, are you going to amputate and we're going to make peg legs?
I feel like Fergus is still in what I had thought previously, where he thinks he needs to kill the mermaids and grab the legs from them. like they have the legs and we need to...
The legs are in their pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
deep pockets.
No, Okay, with that, he I think he is going to take a shot at one of the mermaids and just be like, "Give me your legs!"
Can Cookie come up and try and figure out how to do that? Or like
Absolutely.
think if she knows of a way.
Yeah. Normally, with roles like this, you kind of like limit it to a certain number of players so that because otherwise it's like the party just like not trusting the other people. But in this
Sure.
case, like I'm not even counting Fergus's attempt. He's not like super magically inclined. This is like above his pay grade kind of thing. This is definitely more of
Dirty 20.
nice.
Yay!
Okay. Fergus, go ahead and roll your attack roll and tell me which mermaid you're trying to shoot.
Let's see.
Because Cookie, since she got no response from the creature, she just I'm assuming probably heard commotion and stuff happening.
Yeah.
Well, and from Fergus saying we're getting Bella, she probably just went over to the group.
Yeah, if nothing else, you saw Bella flop out onto
Right.
Not that is it still the deck up there? Yeah, I think it's still the
Yeah.
deck, but yeah.
Gotta swap the poop deck. Fergus rolled a 22, and I think he would be shooting towards the one like who was trying to grasp at Belladonna when she was coming out, because like he's like, well, clearly the one closest to her would be the one who has her legs. So
That's fair.
Good logic.
That's fair. Okay, so one of the ones that were in that like sort of last pursuit was the really like goldeny scaled one that was reminiscent of a mandarin fish. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
I rolled a 3 for damage.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That it's hard actually. It's almost like shooting something that's prone, but because you're so high up, you didn't end up having disadvantage or something since they're like partially submerged. So you do manage to pierce like the shoulder of this creature. It's one of the more like sleek ones. They quickly turn their head to the direction of where the projectile came from, and they see you standing there with the bow. And the face that looked typical humanoid before splits open and peels back a bit, and you see these jagged teeth, and makes like a hissy kind of scream at you as if like a defensive reaction. The flaps close again.
Can I use? I think this might be a new spell for me. Hail of Thorns. Because the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before this spell. Oh, okay. I think I have to cast it first, don't I?
If you wanted to use that and cast that first, we could say that you did, because you're not in like a combat order. He would have had the opportunity to be like, I know what I'm gonna do. That. So what would the impact be of having that spell?
I will roll 4 damage for that. So the let me just the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprout from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effects of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of the attack must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So they'll need to do a dex save. Which my
2 failures.
Yeah, they have to beat a 13.
Okay, so you shoot. One did meet a 13 and the other one didn't. So what happens if they fail, actually?
So if they fail, I believe... Okay, so the creature takes the full damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. And I rolled a 10. So 10 for the one who failed, 5 for the one who succeeded.
Okay, so you cast the spell, you shoot your arrow, and as it's flying through the air, you see these thorns. It's almost like the thing itself disintegrates into this spray of thorny spikes. The initial blast across that first creature, they seemed to have been able to like use the water to deflect some of them. They're the one that did save. But the other pursuer, the one that had that more like lionfish, the like kind of spiky fins to the side and stuff like that, they are sprayed fully with the other spikes that sort of burst out of your arrow. It's really cool looking for anyone else who is watching. I don't think you've seen him do this before. Cookie, definitely something magic afoot with your 20. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
Probably not, with just a +1.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're a bard, so you're kind of like semi-proficient and everything, right? Literally. So, you know a lot about how magic works. You know, it's common knowledge for magic users. Eventually, I think you could even pick some spells if you wanted to learn them that change the forms of people. This one's a bit different. You would normally have the ability to turn somebody into a beast or something like that. So this one seems like a kind of specialized magic, but you can tell that it works vaguely in the same way. Because you don't know the particular spell, it's hard to say what might work, but you know that like the spell magic's a good place to start if you have that, or you could seek somebody out who has that. But sometimes these wear off on their own after a while. And go ahead and
just sleep it off.
Just leave it off. Slip the fin off, literally. They just shed, you know. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me with advantage, since you're like looking over, racking your brain.
Okay. So 18.
So something that you notice is like now that she's landed and is on the deck and like the wind is blowing over her, like her hair is still dripping, but the places that seem to have dried a bit seem to be like losing some of the like scaly luster.
Mm.
So it almost seems like either it's just a time thing maybe, or even just like a full drying process might make the difference. If not, just, you know, trying to dispel it.
Is Belladonna like fully out of the net? Has she like rolled clear of the net?
I mean, after being unceremoniously flopped, I would probably try to crawl and hoist myself up somewhere else so I'm not just like laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Then I think if she's not in the net, Fergus is like trying to bundle up the net and like throw it back into the water and be like, put them in the net and I'll stop shooting.
They are like listening to the words that you're saying and looking super confused. The two that like you have just sprayed with thorny spikes are like angry and confused and looking at each other and back at you, and then back at the like ringleader. This shirt has a hole in it.
Okay.
Looking back at the ringleader, who is, they seem to have completely stopped. They are falling way behind.
Well, I think Cookie, as she ran up to Bella, kind of did her little assessment. She would just go, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?"
I think I'm okay. I got a cool fishtail though.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Well, I'm glad you're not hurt.
Thank you. I'm also glad I'm not hurt. Thank you guys for saving me.
Yeah. Well, just from what I can see, I think this will just wear off in time, but you're probably going to be like this for a little bit.
While like Cookie is talking, Fergus is just shouting like, "Put him in the net! I'm not playing!"
Morthos, at this point, you see like Bart is like corrected course. You're no longer sailing towards whatever that thing is, and he just looks over his shoulder.
Oh gosh.
With like the thumb back at Fergus, being like, "You know what's going on with him?"
I think we should take care of that, really. We should probably do something about him shooting at them and shouting. That's probably not a good thing.
Aye. Just turns back to steering.
What's Bear doing?
I'm there. I'm looking.
Waiting to be told what to do.
I'm looking at Bella's fishtail, if I'm being honest. I'm a little bit more concerned, I think, about that.
The longer you look at it, it almost kind of looks like one of those really fancy evening gowns that you saw in the city, like during the like the casino incident. There was this one person who had this long, sleek black gown on, and it looked like it was really shimmery in like an opalescent kind of way, like the night sky dotted in stars. And now that she's out of the water and close, it kind of looks like that, like this elegant, shimmering gown almost, except ending in a tail fin.
I'm going to touch it.
You touch it. Feels like fish scales.
Well, it feels like fish scales.
Well, it is fish scales.
Oh.
I know you said you wanted to kind of like pull yourself up to some sort of not laying on the deck position. Once the pressure is off of the net contraption, it just kind of falls away. So you could easily, like, you have full control of the thing. You don't think you could stand on the end of the fins like they were feet, but you can kind of like kneel almost. And in doing so, you could like sit on the railing pretty easily.
Yeah, are there any like crates or barrels nearby that I could prop
Yeah.
myself up on?
Yeah, there are in the sort of like corners of the square deck, there are I know the picture doesn't look square, but it's raised area in the back and it's kind of a little more squared off. Both of the corners seem to have some supplies with crates and barrels of a couple of different sizes. One is probably alcohol and one is water, the smaller one being the alcohol barrels. And they're all tethered down with ropes.
Perfect. So I'll use the ropes to pull myself up a little bit, and then I'll just try to position myself in a seated position ish as gracefully as I possibly can while I adore my pretty mermaid fin that seems to be maybe going away.
Yeah. About you get yourself kind of like settled and are like taking in your surroundings. Cookie, you can watch, having helped her, maybe Bear's poking at you. Bart looks back again and kind of like gives Belladonna the once over. And you know when somebody has that look of like, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. You
That's
see
not
him.
my business.
Yeah, you just this realization and like acceptance and dismissal washes over him palpably for everyone to see, and he just goes back to steering and issuing commands to the people on the deck.
I think Morthos thinks to himself, like, man, that guy's cool.
He is. He's so cool.
Have the mermaids aren't really doing anything. They're just kind of like sitting there watching.
Yeah, it's getting further and further away.
They're letting
you can
us
tell
leave.
they're not pursuit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess with them, just kind of like staring and like not doing anything and anything. Fergus kind of like looks over at Belladonna and is like, "So did you join the fish pirates or what's up?"
I don't think they're pirates.
They're fish. They're trying to take people. What else could they be? Fish pirates.
What happened?
I'm not really sure exactly what happened because it seems as though I didn't actually move anywhere.
And she takes a
So you
drink of
feel like
Coke.
you did?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay, so
Okay.
are you with the fish pirate? Like, do I need to stab you? Where are we?
You don't need to stab me. If I didn't want to be with you guys, I probably could have not gone in the net, right? So
No,
we
the
don't
net
need to
plan was
stab,
foolproof.
probably.
You were going in the net. But I guess if you're not with them, we'll get you new legs at the next town we stop at, because they apparently want to keep. I don't know if they're like leg pirates. If like I get they don't want to be fish, but like you can't take people's legs. That's like rule number 6 of fish pirates. Don't let them take your legs.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is just a spell, and it looks like it's wearing off. So I think they'll go back to normal in time.
Does anybody have a fan to just brush the moisture away?
Does anyone have like an electric
Brush?
fan? Can we just plug it in the boat and get this thing going?
Like, Elio,
Like a paper fan. Like
Stop it! Fan me!
yeah.
I feel like the pool boy fan me is either thaumaturgy or prestidigitation,
I was
maybe
gonna
both.
say, yeah. I think I
The
could do
mini
that.
magic tricks. Yeah, exactly. Thaumaturgy and prestidigitation are. I have a friend who calls prestidigitation least wish, because you can just kind of do almost anything inconsequential with it. Like create a little gust of wind, or and I think thaumaturgy is pretty similar. Anyway, continue.
I'm not near you, right? I'm over. I'm not part of this conversation, so I probably can't.
It's like you're on the other side of the room, basically, because
Yeah.
this space isn't super huge. It's probably, I don't know if I gave dimensions last time, but it's like the size of a big room.
I also feel like Fergus is shouting everything, so you
Yes.
probably would have heard that.
He's pumped up right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then I guess Morthos is like, all right, I'll see what's going on, and walks over, and then here's this whole like, yeah, can we fan me off thing, and I'll go for it with a prestidigitation, and make a gust focused on drying Bella off.
Okay. I think I know some of the things you can do are like clean and like soil certain amounts of non-living material. So I almost feel like you could
Yeah.
do like gusts of wind to help dry like the like surface off, but like for hair you could probably like get sections of it dry and stuff like that. So yeah, and you can have like 3 different effects going at a time. So y'all can watch Morthos as just like a bunch of wind stuff starts happening, and Bella starts like rapidly drying off, hair starts becoming dry, things like that.
Nifty.
Yeah, so actually it looks really cool. You know the fronts of ships that have like the mermaids with the flowing hair as the icon things on the front of the ship that I can't think of the actual name for right now.
Mizzenmast.
Sure, yeah, the
No, I
mizzenmast.
don't know if that's right, but it sounds
Oh.
like it would be.
Well, now I have to look it up. Figurehead. I should have known that. It's very straightforward description sort of word. So the figureheads of like mermaids at the front of ships with like their arms back and like the hair flowing. There's like this moment where the wind is like blowing Belladonna's hair, and it's like Beyonce like fluttering around her, and you just kind of like watch as all of the moisture from the sea like evaporates and her hair is fully dry. You can almost see like scales shifting back into clothing and into the cloak she might have had, and the daggers that you can normally see at her side. And it's just like, it's a weird, almost like optical illusion shift, but it really happened, and she eventually at the end is sitting there in her normal form.
Morthos is impressed with himself. He's like, I did that. Big smile, like, wow,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Thanks, Morthos.
Well, it looks like we're good now.
As Morthos was doing that, Fergus was like pulling the net back into the boat, and like, so when he looks back over, he sees like her legs back, and he's like, oh, I guess they did put him in there. Cool. And then he just kind of like looks back at the mermaids and shouts to be like, "Okay, thank you, but not again. One time. You can steal legs one time, and I let you live." And he
The one with the like smoky green skin just waves.
and Fergus waves back and be like, "Have a good day."
Oh my God.
It's like all in all, that encounter was not that bad for things that could have happened. So it's like,
Yeah, you really really changed the course of that with the miraculously good roll on your contraption. So,
yeah, bear.
Thank you.
You should have said you're welcome.
Thank you for
you're welcome.
thanking me.
So the kind of like adrenaline stops pumping, and you all have a moment to breathe. Everyone's here. Everyone's in one piece. There's the voice of Emilio kind of like pipes up from behind everyone.
I'm a character too.
Elio.
What did I say?
You said Emilio. It's Elio.
I meant Elio. Yeah. Did I say Emilio?
I was trying to remember who Emilio was. And I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
I'll just
Elio.
wait. I'll figure this out.
I just finish the description and I'll
the
remember.
random guy that's been hanging out in the back.
And behind them, Elio.
shadow. Yeah.
It's like,
From behind
Elio's
you.
right next to them. Gotcha.
Yeah. And behind them. So the Elio's voice kind of like chirps up from behind everyone and says, what happened?
Nothing.
A lot.
A lot and nothing?
I went fishing.
Caught a big one.
Wow. Rude.
Ouch.
I mean, for a fish, like a human-sized fish would be a big fish. An elf-sized fish.
I mean, we don't know that. Just because all the fish that we perceive seem small doesn't mean that all fish are small. I bet I was pretty small compared to other fish.
Compared to ocean fish, maybe.
Yeah, ocean fish.
And we
can
were
get
in the
pretty big.
ocean.
Yep.
We were in the ocean. We are in the ocean currently in the story.
Are in the ocean. If I go for a swim, do I get to keep my mermaid tail?
You have to try it to find out.
Throw you back. Oh no, this one's too small. Throw her back.
Y'all, throw me in the net.
I think Cookie would then just go, I'll fill you in, and we'll do that.
So there's, as the moments have passed, the sort of general chaos on the ship has died down a bit. And anyone who happens to glance behind them or who has turned around at any point has noticed that most of the crew has sort of congregated like on the steps in various positions of like peeking over the side of things and up over banisters and around each other, just kind of like watching what's happening. Bart's not even correcting them at this point because some things you just have to let people perceive and experience, and there's no point in trying to stop it. And you just kind of like find everyone staring at you. Go ahead.
I think Fergus is like, while he's like putting the net, bundling it up, he's just kind of like looking at the people looking at them and just kind of like looking at all their legs to make sure no one else's legs were stolen during the incident. Like, hey, they look good. Okay. I think it was just Belladonna. I think we're good.
A couple of them seem to notice that you're like counting legs or people or something, and they start looking around and counting too, but like they're not exactly even sure what they're counting. They're just counting people.
It's like, does that guy have 3? Wait, oh no, he's just okay. Katie got it.
Oh, wow.
They call me tripod.
Oh my gosh.
Beckers, your expression right now is so great. Like the disturbed look that you have.
We must describe to the listeners.
Mhm. This is a family podcast
It's a family establishment.
because we are a family.
I don't know if I agree with that.
The first part of the second part.
I was like, oh wow, someone's out of the family.
I was like, you got voted off the island.
Throwing her back in the water.
Do I have fins?
So then
Yeah.
what happens?
That's
Well, I think-
up to you a bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think Cookie's just gonna kind of look at Bella and be like, "Do you want me to shoo them away?"
The
The
kid?
people staring.
Oh, the people staring? I mean, no. I'll just excuse myself. Thank you.
Yeah, she's got legs
Gotta
now.
go check on something somewhere else.
Okay.
I gotta go see my cactus cat.
I should check on my cat. Very well established cactus cat that I've had since the beginning.
People
Okay.
part ways if you like head down below decks. They don't necessarily follow you, but they don't make it difficult at all for you to make your way down there. Emilio does follow you, of course. When you
Elio.
I did it again, didn't I? I'm writing down. I think I've been designing more NPCs, and I think I have an Emilio in there on that random list that we've been rolling from, and I just
Oh.
cannot.
and while below deck, they decide to change their name. By like,
Elio.
so Belladonna became a fish pirate, and by the way, I'm Emilio now. By the way,
I've
I
decided.
decided.
Elio. I'm in big bold
Reinvented
letters now.
My identity.
Yeah, so people have parted ways, like made a path for you to easily head wherever it is that you would like to go. Elio is definitely following you. When you get below decks, you find the cook sitting cross-legged on the ground, and they're like, you know how people like prick their finger and then they suck on the finger for whatever reason, like, ow, that hurts, and that happens. They've literally got like one finger in their mouth and are reaching out their other hand to try to pet Claudia like around her little cactus spines. They look up and they're like, she's a bit pointy.
A little, but she's sweet.
Seems nice. I think I just had to figure out the right way to approach the situation.
I think if she's not nervous, it's a little bit easier. So I'll try to comfort Claudia to make her more pettable.
do you think cactus cats like water?
I just read up on cactus cats again, and they do like water. Cactus cats apparently are a good way to tell if water is good to drink or not, because if they don't want to drink it, you shouldn't. It says you're a fool for doing so.
Ooh.
And also, it can detect water, any water source, within a mile.
Oh shit,
Um,
that would be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
I hope we can fly
this
some.
boat.
Yeah, right? Hard to say. Hard to say if we could find some water right now, but yeah, cactus cats are really cool.
I'm glad they've been integral to the story.
The whole time.
I mean, you know, the heist was a bit of like an odd situation, but who knows? You know, the thing about being on an island is that there might be a lot of water around, but not a lot of it's potable. So she could be really helpful
does
going
it say
forward.
they know potable? Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
That-
potable or potable?
I thought it was potable.
I thought it was
But that's
It's
okay.
potable.
I
It's always
thought
been
it was
potable.
potable,
I
and
thought
then
it was
someone corrected me
Elio.
and said potable.
I think they're both.
It is Elio.
I've always heard it as potable.
Do you?
I've never heard it.
pronounce
According to Google, it's potable.
Oh, well.
Poopable.
But there can be different. I mean, it's like tomato,
Good.
tomato. Is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you say the word, you probably know what they mean.
Yeah,
by
tomato, tomato, but one of them's actually
Yeah,
what
no
people
one
say.
says tomato.
I've only
British
heard it
people
as
do.
potable, so when you said potable, I was like, what?
So I used to always call it potable because that's what like.
There's only one
The first
T.
time I heard it.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, I
and
guess that makes sense.
pottery would have two T's.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things that I'd only seen written. I assumed it sounded like that. And then one other person said potable, and I was like, okay, that's correct. And then I got corrected like a million times, and I was like, well, maybe it's just me and that one other person
How
that
have
were
you
super
used
wrong.
this
So now
word
I
that
don't know.
much?
I guess I see it as potable. Potable. Potable.
Yeah.
Potable.
Yeah, that's fair. And you could
Yeah.
put it in a pot
Yeah.
because it's safe water to use, right?
Yeah.
But if it's bad water, you might want to put it in a pot and boil it.
See, there
Tweet
you
us at Dungeons and Gamers and let us know if you think it's potable or potable.
There you go.
Tweet at us.
That actually comes up for me like a fair amount because of work.
Oh,
So,
Well, there you go.
I've never
Because
used this
some
word out loud
water
before.
on an aircraft is not potable water. Do not drink from the faucets in a bathroom.
Oh yeah.
What are you
Oh yeah,
here
there's
for? You
usually
can't stop me.
signs in there that say not. Yeah.
Not potable water. Yeah,
Mhm.
not
I'm gonna
whatever.
drink it.
Tweet
What'll
us.
happen?
At Dungeons and Gamers. Yeah.
Dungeons Gamers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Tell us if you've ever
that's-
drank from the faucets on an airplane.
What's
Let us
going to
know
happen
how
to
it
me when I
went.
drink
How'd you
it?
feel afterward?
I'm going to take a picture
put up
next
a
time I'm on an
poll?
airplane drinking the faucet water.
Send us a picture of drinking airplane faucet water.
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
Don't tell people to do that. Don't tell people to do that.
It's
Do
all
you
right.
have
I'll
a
cut it
legal
out. I'll
team?
cut it out.
Yeah.
Or you could leave it in because
Like this tangent's probably gone on long enough.
No, this,
Yeah, right.
The,
No, don't
the
cut it
longer,
out.
the longer it's in, that's just content.
The blooper reels. You have to subscribe
It could
for
be
those
good clips.
to the Patreon.
It could be good clips.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways.
Yeah. So
For the
Claudia
TikTok.
softens, or the TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Last Geek on TikTok. I don't have. It doesn't have its own TikTok.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Dungeons and Gamers still have their TikTok.
Claudia softens pretty soon after you arrive.
And they're not
What's everybody else
pointy
doing?
anymore.
Not pointy anymore.
I think Fergus, like with everything calming down, he like goes over to Rascal and kind of pets him and is like, "Good job. No fish pirates got on. I know that was you. Good job. Future Prince of Faraway. I see potential."
He sits when you're like, I know that was you. He like sits and almost like puffs out his chest, like, yes.
And then Fergus kind of walks over to the he kind of like I think Rascal is still like at the back of the boat where Fergus was before all the stuff kind of popped off because Fergus was like fishing at the back, and he like does a loop at the back, talks to Rascal, and then like loops back to the front, like counting legs as he goes. And then finds the captain and it's like, "So are we almost there?"
Oh, I think we're about a day out or so. I don't think we lost much time.
Yeah, only like 2 legs.
Everyone
they're
has
back,
their legs
though.
by my count.
No, I got them back. They were in
He's
the,
been counting legs too.
they were in the and Fergus goes like, "Yeah, man, that one guy, yeah."
Yeah, he has a bit of a reputation everywhere we go.
Anyway, I'm gonna go sleep for like a day. Just
Take a quick long rest.
it seems like you got this handled though. Like, hey, no fish pirates for the rest of the trip.
I hope not.
Okay, all right. Good night. And Fergus goes like walks downstairs, and it's like, as I caught the biggest fish in this water. I'm done fishing.
It's not a big fishtail. It was a big fishtail, but not a fishtail. Yeah. He seems generally just like at ease and fairly like jovial. Whether or not that is like a natural feel or something he's doing to like, yeah, sure, you're fine. Go take a rest. It'll be okay. Unclear to you, but he seems to be in good spirits. Oddly.
Wait. I gotta with the nat 1.
On insight.
On my insight on him. So yep, I don't fucking know if he's genuine, making it up. I don't know.
You just have this like passing thought of like, he seems to be in good spirits.
That seems like a guy.
But you know, he's been kind of upbeat this whole time. Just seems really at ease.
I think like there's a little bit of him like, how many legs he have?
You only see two. His pants are a little baggy though. Hard to say.
Oh my goodness.
He's like a half fish pirate, where is got like a mer leg in the middle.
Like his penis?
Yeah, his penis is a fin.
Okay.
I was thinking like a bipedal Vaporeon where it was a tail in the back, but you know, like
Nope, tail in the front. lot of dick jokes in this one.
Yes.
you know, if there was a scenario where I really thought we were going to draw on dick jokes a lot, mermaids weren't it for me. But
You would think
You
that.
never
a little
know.
telling.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. In a game that has remarkably fewer dick jokes than most of the TTRPG games I've played in too. Comes up with mermaids. Interesting. Sure, there's a study here. I just don't know what it is.
Which
Is there anything?
which is funny
Uh-huh.
because this probably has like the larger amount of women for most D&D games, like ratio.
Yeah. Yeah, for a lot of them. I DM'd a game I called She and D at one point, which were all new players except for me, and they were all women. It was a lot of fun.
Baldur's Gate Baddies actually beats this though,
Ooh,
because it's
nice.
3-1. Well, no, actually,
Yeah.
is it this 4
It's
to
the
2?
same if you reduce it.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Math. It's a thing.
Right?
2 to 1.
We're 2-1. We would have more.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh wait,
No, 3-1.
No.
No.
3 women for every one
yeah,
man.
it's not the
Yes.
same.
No,
So-
they do have more.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
Math is
But
hard.
ratios, like fractions. Who knew you'd have to use them for figuring out how many women there are?
Well, Cookie definitely is feeling a lot of emotions because she was going from like complete despair, thinking, oh my God, we totally screwed this over for Bella to save her because, you know, we pissed off the creatures. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, but we have her now.
But
And now nothing is happening. So she's like really confused that nothing happened from that. But so she's like happy, but like still kind of stuck in the despair, kind of like just really not sure what to do. So she's just going to go stress bake down below.
That's fair.
It's like she do the thing to center her.
Mhm.
So that's what she's going to go do.
Okay. You head below decks and happen upon Elio, Belladonna, presuming she's still around, the cook / baker, and Claudia, kind of like in a circle, petting Claudia.
She's like, you hungry? I need to bake something.
Elio's like, I like baking stuff. Well, I like eating baked things.
Okay. I'll bake plenty. Just wait a little bit and then she'll probably just go to the kitchen.
Yeah. At this point, you have like they have allowed you free reign to whatever you'd like to use, especially after your fun like baking activity, making the dog treats and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like, you know, you're more than welcome to use whatever.
I was gonna say, I think Morthos is like riding high, right? He's feeling cool, like, and he's also taken to the captain a bit, right? He's like, that guy's cool. I did a cool thing. Let's be bros, right? Let's be like
Yeah.
best buds. I could be first mate. Yeah, I'm finally about the ship life,
Hey,
right?
first mate.
Yeah.
Figured it
He's
out.
really turned it around about
Yeah.
boats.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know, just hanging by the captain, just like, oh, did you see that thing I did earlier? That was pretty neat, huh? Like, this
yeah.
seems, you know, this is cool.
He'll encourage you when you're like, did you see that thing I did earlier? Like, yeah, tell me how it felt. How did you even do that? That he's really like feeding into it, like gassing you up
Okay.
and just enjoying
well,
the conversation.
It's just this innate ability I've always had. I don't know. It's just, my natural talent. That's how Morthos feels, because he's a sorcerer and he didn't really do
It's true.
anything. It's just
Just
Yeah.
naturally good at making gust the air.
Yeah. There's that
magic
meme
tricks.
that's like, how did you get your magic? And a wizard is like, oh, through years of research and study. And a sorcerer's like, it is innate in me. It's a part of me as much as any other part, blah, blah. And then it's like, Bard, I don't know. I was making fun of a goblin one day and he died. But yeah, no, that's exactly how sorcerers are. And he's like, is it a bloodline thing for you? Or I've heard of magic like that.
Yeah, it is. And then he's just like kind of shuts off right there. He's just like, yeah.
Okay. Are you going
how's
to
the ship going? How's our course
Yeah.
looking?
And Morthos
like
just turns off and falls down the ground.
would you say that Morthos tries to like mask that was clearly like a boundary, or like is visibly discomforted?
Maybe slightly to like Captain's super charismatic, right? He seems like he'd probably pick up on it a little bit, right? Like he's a people person, right? He could probably.
You have a similar feel from Bart that you get from Cookie, just like really charismatic, really friendly, like can just strike up a conversation with anyone and end up on their good side. You get a more of a sense of like that sort of like swashbuckling rogue edge to it with Bart. So as somebody who's, an adventurer of your experience, you would not be surprised if Bart himself were a bard.
Okay. He probably picks up on it that Morthos is dodging, right?
He absolutely does. I rolled.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, there's that like moment of awkwardness and he says, oh, I didn't mean to overstep, friend. Some people are really open with that. It's your secrets are safe with you. I was just curious. I always find it interesting to learn how people have come upon their powers. It was very impressive.
Well, thanks. And it's not like, it's not like a secret so much as just I don't like to talk about it, It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Everyone has things that they should keep to themselves just so that you have a little piece of yourself that is just yours.
That is beautiful.
Aw.
Thank you. You feel like everything's chill again. You can feel about him however you actually feel. But just like he is obviously intending to put you back at ease and to not pry at all. So whatever, again, like not manipulating your emotions in any way, but you do still feel this sort of like palpable sense of being like inspired.
Yeah.
Just from your conversation with him.
I think Morthos like kind of attaches to be like he did it with Rikuzen too, I think, right? And was a little upset when he left them.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, this guy. Like he first, however that went. But I think he feels that, right? Like he'll attach to somebody like that and just be like, wow, this guy's awesome. I want to be best friends with him. He's like the guy for me.
Okay. Yeah. So if you just like continue,
it could be anybody. I mean, he happens to be a guy.
Yeah, someone you're drawn to. He's happy to chat with you if you start to take like an interest in the Helm's work that he's doing. He mentions at some point during the conversation that he sent the Helm's person to get some rest, something about they weren't quite themselves. And he seems to be happily enough in control of the navigation at the moment. And he'll show you the compass that's mounted there. If you're interested in like learning about how to steer the ship, he'll just kind of like share knowledge with you or just chit chat with you based on how you direct the conversation.
Okay. I want to like jump away from this because I don't want to keep if somebody else wants to go, because otherwise I'll just like play with all the toys. Those will be like,
And
yeah,
the-
show me.
And the next
all the-
3 episodes are Morthos and the ship captain.
Listen, you can take as much time as you do or do not want to, but we can also like I almost said fade to black, but not fade to black like that. Like we can like
Ooh.
and here are the things I discussed during that conversation. So if you wanted to come away with a little bit of what I was doing was giving you the opportunity to come away with a little bit of ship knowledge or to
Yeah,
just like
I think
really
Morthos
more
takes that
okay.
opportunity, right? He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of describe what you're doing. Show me, how does this all work?
Show me your
And-
mizzen mast, which I looked up is the 3rd tallest mast.
Okay.
Or yeah,
So
Is that a peg leg?
it's an accidental dick joke. Yeah, the 3rd tallest mast. Yeah. Oh my god. Because
Oh
one
my
leg's
God.
always slightly longer than the other. You know, the two halves of your body form separately. So accidental dick joke.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Dungeons and Gamers. We're sorry we missed the last one. We were busy fighting crime. But we'll get you next time, which is now because you're listening to this and it's next time. Thank you. Tell your friends that this is a podcast that you heard once and they only missed that 1 month and they probably won't do it again. So thank you and tell your friends. See you on the flippity flop.
Is there anything I know Cookie's baking, Morthos is making a friend, learned about some navigation, Belladonna is chilling with Elio and the cook and Claudia and stuff. What's Bear up to, actually, by the way?
Napping. I decided that
Mm-hmm.
I liked the sea air. We just did a little exercise. And I'm going to
Yeah.
nap.
Sounds good.
But Bear's on a cruise right now.
Yeah.
It's
I wish I
yoga
lived like
next.
Bear, man.
Unless anybody has anything special they want to do, you will complete the rest of your journey and get to where you're, you can see land without any further interruptions or ado. So you tell me if there's anything specific any of you would like to do, we can do that. And if not, we can jump forward to basically the point where somebody is up in the crow's nest and sees land.
Is it Bear?
Maybe.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Nothing else?
I'm just
Fergus.
processing the trauma my subconscious went through.
Yeah, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Do you think that you look visibly stirred in any way, or are you keeping that pretty on lock?
Oh, I keep my face poker face anytime anyone else is around, but when I am on my own, oh boy howdy.
And everyone knows
On my own.
there's so much alone time on a ship.
Well,
That's
I
true.
imagine that Bella would really avoid people. Not I imagine. Bella would actively avoid people. I can decide that, and that's what she does.
Is there a toilet?
Actually, I was going to say this earlier. So you mentioned the poop deck. Do you know what the poop deck is?
Oh, stop. No, God, do they actually shit
So-
there?
on a lot of maritime vessels,
Maritime.
before modern
Yeah, that's what I heard.
conveniences, especially. What'd you say?
Baratime.
Oh, is it maritime?
No,
I
we
said
heard bear
maritime.
a time, like
Oh,
bear.
baratime. Lol. Yes, also baratime. So on a lot of seafaring vessels, there was an area called the poop deck because the front of the ship, you would think it would be the back, but it was actually the front, would have an area that was just grates open to the sea. And that's where you could, you'd like pee off the side or whatever. But to poop, you would go specifically to that area and just kind of like squat over the grates. And most of it would fall out into the water, but not all of it. And so some people literally had to swap the poop deck. That was the poop deck.
Are you sure that's correct? Because I'm looking at the Wikipedia article on poop deck, and apparently it's called poop deck because it originates for the French word for stern, la poupe, from Latin pupus. I'm not seeing any.
So I looked this up,
That's the
and
pupus.
there was
Stern deck.
like a history of vessels thing. So it might be one of those things where like people were stealing words back and forth, but there were ships that were built. Like maybe it wasn't originally like called that and somebody heard a French person use that word, but like that was a thing. Oh god, I don't think I
People
linked
poop
that to
on
myself.
The poop deck. Despite its name, sailors didn't poop off the poop deck. The poop deck was used.
More like pooping through the poop deck.
Yeah.
Poop decks, what are they and why are they called that?
See, here's another one originating from the Latin term pupus.
When I Google did people poop on the poop deck? It starts with people did not poop on the poop deck. I want to be clear, so I'm not.
Okay, so maybe that thing wasn't called the poop deck, but the ship's toilet was typically placed at the head of the ship near the base of the bowsprit. Yeah, where splashing water served to help try to clean it, and they would literally just shit into the water. So maybe that other article had gotten confused about that, but that is a real thing. That is where they would just shit into the open sea.
It makes sense they wouldn't do it on a pot on the boat and then just keep it.
What do you just? Yeah,
yeah.
They would want it not on the boat.
Yeah, it's like it's the first people who were pooping into water was sailors.
Mm-hmm. Only the captain had a private toilet near his quarters at the stern of the ship in the quarter gallery.
You gotta like research everything about ship history before you do a ship adventure.
Yeah, we're gonna need to come back to this because we need to learn more about how to sail a ship.
I actually did a lot of reading, and part of this was inspired by the amount of Sea of Thieves I was playing at the time. So I did a lot of reading on ships. Yeah. Haven't played that in a while. I need to do that again. But anyway, so with no further ado going on from anyone on the ship, things kind of settle down. The confusion mostly dies out, although you do catch a few people counting legs from time to time, and they're not exactly sure why they're doing that, but it keeps happening, so they keep doing it. And let me see.
And there's always one more leg than sets of people.
Everyone already knew about that one. That was just something y'all had to learn. So, I believe it was about another day and a half-ish, actually, before you were to make landfall. But you can, it's roughly that amount of time. You didn't lose a significant amount of time by being off course, however slightly. So I actually cannot remember what time of day it was that all that happened, but I feel like that started around like midday.
Yeah.
Because it was,
I feel like it was like afternoon.
Okay.
From what I remember. Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure Aaron knows. So I'm glad that was accurate.
I was like, so that sounds right.
Yeah. Evening is falling. Land comes into view. It's not as easy for anyone that's not up in the crow's nest to see at first, but you do start to see lights in the distance, like what look like to be a civilization. Like they're being fired up as evening starts to roll in. And the calls are made to point out that land is there. You do notice that there is a lighthouse as well, and you can see this sort of like rotating firelight there. As you get closer, and although ships move at a pretty relatively quick speed when there's like wind behind them, it almost feels like that like last stretch of a journey where it always just takes longer than you think it's going to, or something has happened that it's like time slows down. And as you get closer, this feeling is heightened with a little bit of tension as you notice the rim of very sharp, jagged, protruding rocks. And you hear Bart saying something about how the Moonshaes are known for this, especially this part of Alaran. And he mentions that you're going to be landing in... now I have to click away from the note that says Elio to find what I actually named, or the name of the actual place. because I had it set over that before and then had to change it. Oh my god, I've written Emilio here. No, Elio. That's probably where it happened. I just wrote the wrong name. White Rock. He explains that this is Bart. Bart explains that White Rock is the largest settlement near to the capital city of the area, which is called Caer Calidir. These are both in Whitefish Bay. That's the region that you'll make birth in. He mentions that it's a mining town.
No, I just had a big lunch.
What?
White birthday.
So you said we'll make birth there.
No, I know. Bart is like, I'm assuming Fergus actually said that.
Because Bart, is Bart telling us that we're going to make birth there? I'm trying to, okay, then yes, then Fergus would just be like, no, I just had a big lunch.
He looks confused at first. Then you do the explanation. He kind of looks down and says,
You said make birth. And then,
I caught up with you at the end.
And then Fergus,
it's nautical speak.
And then Fergus farts.
Just to break the tension there.
Bart deeply inhales the breeze. So he's at the helm again. So you are not in front of him and cannot, in fact, crop dust him. So you do this. He takes a deep breath, says, "It's probably the best thing about the salty air of the sea. People can't soil it as easily." Anyway, any questions you have about the city?
What? They got meat?
I'm sure they do.
Is it good?
Don't think I've eaten in this particular town before.
That seems weird.
Oh, when you're just stopping long enough to drop off
what's
the
your
shipment.
favorite food?
Calamari.
That's weird. And then Fergus just kind of walks away.
It's Fergus like this now.
Yeah, it seems like he's done a complete
I'm watching
personality
I've
change
been watching One Piece.
Oh boy.
We're gonna find out at some point that Fergus has
Fergus
has dissociative identity disorder and different personalities come out at different times, but they're all named Fergus.
Fergus is back to the first time where he's kind of dumb again.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's our favorite version.
He devoted all of his brain power to the heist, and it's just waning now.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm spent.
He was borrowing from future Fergus even, and so now he's at a deficit of brain power.
Oh, that's complicated. That sucks, buddy.
Which would explain my low rolls, that nat one on the insight.
Screaming to get back her legs.
I burned all my intelligence on the heist. It's gone.
I tried. It didn't go the way I wanted. We made it out, I guess.
Yep.
Fuck this.
It hasn't been 5 months since we've all played either.
That would explain why Fergus is
4 months.
tell me about your favorite.
Fergus is just having a really hard time finding himself right now. He's been through a lot lately.
I think
maybe we could just be. This is a
bonked
trauma
in the
response,
head
probably.
Honestly, Fergus had the deal of get mom's necklace, and after he has his mom's necklace, and he's just man, I don't know what to do now. So I'm just kind of I'm out
That's
here.
about as far as I thought.
Gone.
Yeah,
It's gone
which was kind of how he was in the first thing because he didn't really have means to get the necklace. So maybe that was when Fergus has a purpose, he is has it together and can do that. And then once he doesn't have a purpose, he's just I don't know, man.
when Fergus looks in the mirror, what does he see now?
Oh, the magic mirror?
Yeah, that he brings with him everywhere.
Ooh.
Cookie still got it. Yeah, he hasn't pulled it out because there's no safe place to do so.
I think Cookie would just kind of lean over to Elio and be like, "Will our contact be there? Like, what's our next steps?"
Well, really, we just need to get to the forest, which isn't too far.
From
Forest might be-
from Oleron, right? That's where we're going.
Oleron's the name of like the land, like, the larger area, and the city that we're going to land in is White Rock, and then Caer Caladir will be the next city over, and we probably should stop there at least long enough to maybe get the rumors from the taverns and just kind of see what's on the air, and then we'll want to go into the forest to just figure out what's going on with the druid pools, the moon pools.
Gotcha. Okay,
Elio.
sounds good.
Elio. Hey, Elio. What's your favorite food?
I like potatoes.
Potatoes are good. Okay, good job. And Fergus kind of like...
Good job. You passed.
Walks off again.
Excellent.
Elio looked around, is like, did I answer right? Was there a wrong answer?
I don't. He's.
Yes,
I don't
it's
know what's
calamari.
going on with him right now.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Just roll with
It's
it.
like
He'll be
Cookie's
fine.
feeling kind of weird about it because they had a really nice touching moment looking at the stars and stuff together, and now he's like this, and she's kind of like, seems like a completely
Is-
different Fergus
yeah.
now.
Is he okay?
A little
Is he
worried
in
about my
crisis?
friend.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, well, I'm glad I answered correctly, I guess.
yeah.
Fergus just doesn't know how to deal with trauma for some reason, even though his entire life was trauma up to this point. I'm not really...
That kind
Is
of
there a
makes
new
sense,
split?
though. New split. I think sometimes people like adopt a persona that they need to at the right time. And so maybe recovery is who Fergus really is, and get shit done, Fergus is an act.
Well, we'll love him no matter what, right?
Yeah. We're still getting to know him.
How long have you all known each other?
Not too terribly long.
A couple
Honestly.
weeks, I think.
No, I think-
How
think like
long
at least-
now?
I think maybe we're at like
At
a
least
month
a
and a
month.
half-ish now.
About like 3 adventures worth, give or
I'm
take.
pretty sure the casino arc was like a whole
Was a
month.
month.
Yeah, it was a month long.
month.
Yeah.
And then, the meeting Bella in that was, I
No,
think,
dude.
just a couple of days after the very first time we all met. So, like a
Yeah.
month and a half-ish, I would say.
Well, that's long enough to feel like family if you want to be.
Yeah. A lot's happened in that month and a half. That's for sure.
And that's usually when you start feeling like family.
Yeah.
When you go through a lot
Trauma
together.
bonds.
I was just thinking that we're all going through traumatic events together.
Adventuring parties are just trauma bonded.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Feels
true.
safe.
Because you were able to count on those people that time when
Mhm.
things went to shit. And so, like, of course you should be able to again in the future, right? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Cookie literally stabbed those people.
She didn't.
Oh gosh, way back
The
in
one
the
guy.
day.
Don't,
First adventure.
don't
Don't
remind her
remind
of that.
her,
No.
Yeah.
Only Bear
Just like
knows.
Morthos in the corner quietly. Yeah. I saw Cookie stab a guy. Oh.
Mhm.
The ship, as the ship draws closer, you can see the little port they have there. It's pretty obvious by the layout that this did like Bart mentioned, spring up as like a mining town. It's backed up right against this like mountain range. They're islands, so not that islands can't have tall mountains, because they can, but it's not a huge range, but it's large enough you could call them mountains. So it's kind of like nestled at the base there, and they have a very functional port that can probably support like 2 or 3 ships of this size. So it's not a super like ceremonious or grand landing. Just kind of dock the ship on this pretty like modest looking port, and you see a sort of like sprawling town in front of you. Because it's evening, there is like firelight everywhere, and there's a lot of like general buzz you can hear from like 2 buildings that are pretty close to the dock, which seem to be taverns/inns. They look large enough. They probably have rooms on the inside.
Okay, everybody pick which inn you're staying at.
What are they named?
Roll me I love these random tables. Let me pull this one up. Roll me a 1d20.
I got an 8.
The Bold Brazier is the name of one of them.
I'm going to call that the Bold Brazier. That's where I want to go.
I love it. Okay, yeah. All right. Bold
Brazier.
It doesn't
Sounds
have to be
alright.
named that. That's just how I'm going to say it.
It's named that now.
Yes!
Belladonna has changed reality.
Oh,
Somebody-
no. Wait, hold on. I want to jump in a pot, like in a body of water. I need to know if I still have a mermaid fin.
Yeah, there's
This
still
is hugely important to me.
You're still surrounded by the ocean. If you just wanted
I'm
to jump
jumping
off the
into
side.
the ocean.
Okay. I want to know, what would everybody be doing as you were literally like making landfall? The ship is being docked. Are you all near the like, I almost said deplaning. Okay. Are you like just ready to kind of like hop off? Are you like milling about in general areas on the ship? What would you kind of generally be up to?
I think Fergus is like when he heard land was close, he was like grabbing his stuff and just like getting like right up against the disembark zone as quickly as possible. Like he's got a race with someone to see if they can get to an Airbnb quick enough.
Gotcha. What about everyone else?
Wow, that's such an inside joke. Like,
And Becker's isn't even reacting.
I know, she doesn't even care.
I missed it.
She wasn't even
Aw.
listening. See, she wasn't even
Wow.
listening.
I cut in and out a lot.
Oh no,
It's
I'm
been
sorry.
a while.
That's fair.
What would Morthos be doing?
He's hanging with Bart. He's seeing he's probably like, "Hey, are you staying here for a couple days? Are we hanging out? Like, we going to the bar?"
Are we friends now?
right?
Yeah.
So he's moving around the ship, giving different orders, making sure things are like prepared. It looks like they have like not a delivery, but they're like dropping off some goods. So he's going to be here for like one night as he waits for making contact in the morning. He'll be on the ship, staying on the ship.
Oh man, that's awesome. We should grab a bite or something. Let's hang out. It's gonna be.
I hear
Can
you
we
like
swap
calamari.
contact information?
Can I get your Snapchat?
So can I get your
Morth-
Instagram?
Morthos has a magic bird, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Can the magic bird communicate with Bard?
I forget what the magic bird does. You'll have to
I
remind
don't
me.
remember how far
it's
it
the
can go.
token thing that turns into a bird. It's the
Yeah.
figurine that becomes a bird.
Rah rah Raven.
Figurine of wondrous power. Yeah.
Rah rah Raven. Oh
Rah,
yeah,
rah,
I
Raven.
forgot about that. And does it do like message, and it takes a message to someone? Is that what it does?
I can speak the command word and throw it. Oh, that's how to use it.
Yeah.
I think it just
it's
becomes
then
a
a living
raven.
creature, and it listens to my command, and it's friendly to me and companions.
Rah rah Raven.
Okay. Okay. I don't. So there's an item that's like it's basically
Belladonna has a way to like send people messages with her little paper thing.
Yeah.
They're note birds.
Yeah.
I've
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
got magic
So that's-
notes.
That's true.
That's
Mine exists for 12 hours, and it doesn't seem to have like a range. It's a raven.
yeah.
Yeah.
As far as a raven
Yeah,
could
it's just
go.
a living raven. Yeah.
As long as
I was
he's-
thinking,
as long as he can get back to you within 12 hours, basically, before he
Yeah.
dispels.
do not fly more than 6 hours away.
Mhm.
There's a little like clockwork bird that does like animal messenger, which is a spell where you like Gandalf style, like speak to
Mm.
something like a moth, and then it carries a message to somebody. So I wasn't sure if that's what I had given you, or if it was just the raven. Not just, it's really cool. But anyway,
Pets for everyone.
yeah, more like getting his Twitter, I guess, at that point, if you're gonna do like bird talks. But yeah, he's chill with having dinner. Sounds like a great plan. You know, they've got maybe they'll have some good calamari. We'll have to see.
Awesome. Bart's coming to dinner with us.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yay!
I'm nervous. I want him to like us.
Mhm. What are you up to, Bear? You up in the crow's nest again, or are you chilling on deck?
How long? Because I was napping before, so I don't know. It hasn't been long enough. I should have gotten up and done something else by now.
Yeah, this is like a full
All
like
day
day
later.
and a half later. Like you've had time to gather your,
Okay.
you had a full rest, morning, several meals.
Yeah, okay. So
You
I
know.
was working out and getting swole on the deck, doing some
Of course.
crunches. And this is who I want to be, by the way. And as we get close to land, I get up and stop doing that.
So chilling, that's fine. Where are you, Cookie?
Cookie's probably ready to disembark and is probably just hanging out with Elio because she's like their guide for the quest. So she's kind of like all business and ready to like get to the bottom of what's going on with and do the mission.
Okay. So probably Fergus and Cookie then, maybe Morthos too, but I feel like you're a little distracted by Bart, are the first to notice Belladonna just walk over the side of the ship and leap off.
Not again.
Hey, you told
I'm gonna
me you
do
were
it
a fish
dramatically.
pirate.
Ooh, dramatically? Okay, acrobatics check.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I'm trying to make sure I dive in, because even if I don't, I know how to swim pretty well, I think.
Yeah. I feel like at this point you have intimate knowledge of swimming.
I rolled a 17.
Yeah, you take a couple of like long stridey steps, like not quite a run, but just, get a little momentum going, propel yourself up onto the railing, jump up, do a little somersault, nice pretty swan dive kind of thing. There's a splash. It's not too big of a splash. That would have given you a pretty decent rating at the Olympics, probably. And
Like a 17 out of 20.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. You touch the surface of the water, and a very familiar buzzing, like energetic feeling like washes over you. Just like as the dry parts of you are submerged, it just like runs down your body, and you can feel that sort of, it's not even unpleasant, but there is a bit of like a stretch to it. Stretching feeling, and as you go down into the water, you can breathe it in.
Okay, I'm going for a swim.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop back up and wave my fishy arm.
Did you jump off the side that they're disembarking from, or the other side?
I probably would have jumped the other side.
Do
Okay.
your arms change, or is it just your tail?
I guess from the pictures of the other mermaid people, it seemed like they kind of had some additional flowy fins all over the place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like on the forearms and stuff.
Yeah, they were all based after like real fish, but also like artistic license and sort of reimagined. So, and you can have some input on this, however you would like to. I was thinking the Nami's Halloween skin, where she's got the like frills down the side of
Yes.
her fins.
Are you talking League of Legends right
Yes,
now?
League of
Yeah.
Legends character?
A
Why,
League
yes.
of Legends character. My main, Nami. I would like for my main to be Seraphine, but I remain better at Nami than Seraphine, much to my chagrin. So
I feel that way about oh god, what's the new ADC's name?
Nyla.
Nyla.
Yep.
I think it's
yeah.
Neela, but I've never
It's
called her
Neela.
Oh, Anila.
that.
I've been playing her a lot, but I'm still, whenever we play a game that matters, I have to play Jinx because I'm like, God, I'm not good at her yet though.
Well, didn't she? She came out and then they nerfed her a bunch. So I think they're still balancing that, and I think you'll probably end up seeing her kind of like rise back up.
Yeah,
after that.
I also haven't been playing video games in a long time, so like every time I play, it's like relearning, and when I'm not playing a main, it's like I don't know how to play this game anymore.
What even am I doing right now?
Yeah.
Me accidentally pressing Alt and then Snowball as Nico, and then being like,
We can all relate to that.
never mind.
It's like, I know what that
So-
means.
Yeah. I'll explain it later.
Relatable hashtag.
Relatable. So I imagine the way that Bella looks, for anyone who runs over to the side or saw her earlier or whatever, she's got it, like I said, it kind of looks like evening gownish, where she's got like these scales that kind of like bleed up to like her neck or so, and so there's just like very shiny, sort of like translucent-y scales that fade to like deep black with that like opalescent shimmery, but like sparkles instead of like an overtone to them. And this time, unlike last time where it looked very sleek and just ended in, tail fins, there's this like long fin running down the side that almost looks like a ruffle,
Ooh.
kind of like an eel in a way. You know how they have the like ruffle on the side and it helps them swim or something? Yeah. Kind of hard to see because it's heading towards evening, but there's enough like firelight on the water you can make out shapes and see that kind of stuff. She seems to have signaled she's okay to anyone who did watch.
Yeah. I think Cookie will just be like, okay, good.
Great.
Apparently, there's original recipe chicken ruffles, like KFC ruffles.
Yum.
Ruffles have ridges.
Ruffles do have ridges. That's what makes them ruffles.
They're ribbed for. Never mind.
Oh. Yeah.
I need somebody else to roll 1d50.
Becker's tuned back in for that.
Just look over and see the shock on your face.
What did I
Becker's
say?
only a 1d50. What did you say?
What did I say? I said this was a family podcast.
Becker's
I
trying to
didn't
be the
know you
voice of
kids.
reason of this podcast. Wow.
Mom friend.
We should all be better, you guys.
14. Oh! The coal miner's daughter. That's really fitting, actually, for this
It's a
mining town. So
Wow.
we've got what is clearly the brothel, and then the not seeking companionship
The other
tavern
brothel,
and inn.
a different brothel.
Yeah.
It could be.
Coal miner's daughter. I don't remember if I explained this last time, but I get so stuck on like names and picking out features and stuff that I have decided to turn to these, and this is my way of prepping, and I kind of like just running with whatever we roll anyway. So this is my this is my way of having productive prep time, which did work for me. So those are the two ends for anyone other than Bella who's going for a swim that you see, and there you can hear. They're close enough to shore that you can hear like the sounds of people inside and drinking and talking, and a little bit of like music that's not competing but going on at the same time from each of them individually. As the ship completes its docking process, Elio kind of chimes in and says, "We could stay here for the night if you wanted, or we can start the journey now. It is late, but it's up to you."
I guess I'm fine either way. It might be do you feel like it would be dangerous for us to travel through the forest and stuff at night?
Let's
We
do it.
won't be to the forest for some time, but
Oh, okay.
it's anywhere that people are can be dangerous or can be home. Kind of depends.
We've been resting on a boat. I'm ready to rumble.
That's perfect.
I
Ready to rumble.
I slept in the shower once. That was dangerous.
Could drown.
Mm?
Like a turkey.
Like a turkey. Ooh.
I heard once that turkeys will drown in the rain because they'll just look up and leave their mouths open. But that's something I heard as a child, so it's probably a lie.
I saw that special on Cartoon Network too.
Are we
Now I
just
have to Google
I
it.
have seen Furious Google.
Spout-
spouting random facts and then actually fact checking them after
This
we've
whole
said them?
episode is just us. It's just
Flag
side
for
conversation. I have
misinformation.
no idea how much of this I'm cutting out.
You
You
should
see,
leave
most-
as much of this as you
Yeah.
rightfully can.
We are,
I will
uh,
probably
I feel
have to get the
I feel
have
like
the
this-
runtime be a
We're
decent
feel like
time.
this
we're
is-
so old that when we first heard these facts, we couldn't Google them. So now that we can,
Yeah.
it's time.
Yeah, now-
it's time.
That's
That's true.
That is very true.
People have just been like, yeah, you poop on the poop deck. That's
Obviously.
Kids these
And-
days
and-
don't know
They
how
don't do
good
the
they have it.
research.
You can tell kids crazy. You used to be able to tell kids crazy stuff and they'd just believe it. Now they're like, nah, and they Google it and you're like,
yeah. They're like, actually, here's like 12 sources that say you're full of shit. So
Yeah.
I literally thought that the sky was blue because it was reflecting the ocean until I was 14.
Oh,
because
really?
that's what somebody told me.
I mean, I also
Yeah, I feel like I've
but
heard
yeah, that
that.
would really make
Really?
sense because
I
there's
thought
no
it was
ocean
blue
here.
from like the water in the air.
No,
Like the
it's
water
from like
vapor.
a
I'm sure there's a
specific
real
gas
reason.
that's in the air. I actually, for some reason, this is one of those random facts from like
Okay.
elementary school or middle school that I vaguely remember.
Everyone
It's the
say
same
the
reason
random.
why Neptune is blue. It's that same gas that's in the air.
Everybody, let's.
But I couldn't
say
tell you
the
what
random,
the gas is called. No,
Let
idea.
everyone say
it
a random
farts?
fact they know so that we can look up if it's true or not.
A random fact they know.
Was
They
mine
think
already
they
the
know.
poop deck one?
No, we can do more.
Did we
Let's go.
find
Let's
out-
go.
Did we find out about the turkey thing?
Yeah.
If that was true?
The turkey
It's
thing
false.
was false.
Oh.
Is it like something
But
we were told as
also-
children?
Yeah.
But also the blue light the sky is blue because blue light is scattered in all directions by the tiny molecules of air in Earth's atmosphere. Blue is scattered more than other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. So it's just easier to perceive the blue.
I swear I remember hearing that there was a gas in the air, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Probably
Maybe I
farts.
didn't remember that very well.
That says because of the molecules in the air, so it might be
Oh,
that
might-
the like gaseous makeup of our atmosphere is similar to
Yeah.
Neptune's,
Oh.
and so it scatters the blue light better.
That's why
Something.
the only aliens we know of are on Neptune.
Yeah.
Yeah, methane.
Oh, methane.
It's methane.
Oh, it's methane. Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god.
All the cow farts.
That is
You're
farts. I've
absolutely
been saying farts, have I not?
You did.
What is this?
Fergus starts walking through the town.
Oh man.
Ignoring the ends. like he just wants to like get this thing done because he knows it's not helping his goal, and he
That's
was
fair.
like, I don't know why I'm here, but let's do the job that we're here for, I guess.
Okay.
He's back to getting shit done, Fergus.
No, he's just like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but going to an inn isn't it.
So
where-
you
Yes.
Bart heads down like right after you, basically, and goes to
Oh, how does Morthos feel about?
He's torn. He's kind of sad because he's realizing that this new friendship that was blossoming with Bart is about to just come to a immediate end.
Aw.
So as Bart's exiting, he's just like, I guess everyone else is just gonna we're just gonna keep going because we have a ways to go still. So we'll have to I don't know, reconvene another time.
Well, sail around from port to port. I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where I'm at if you'd like to have that dinner.
Man, he's so cool.
And he starts talking to the person he needs to make sure that he pays the fees for his ship to be docked, etc., etc. So he kind of goes business mode for a little bit. Belladonna is still swimming. Don't know that anyone's asked her what her plans are. So you can take off if you would like. But
I think Fergus assumed that she went back to join the fish pirates. It's like I don't know.
Cast off, forgotten.
Cast off, done. That's all it
Guess
took.
we're done with her.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't say anything. I just jumped off.
Yeah, jumped off and went fish. And they're like,
Bye.
Fish mode. Bye.
yeah, and at this point, he can't attribute to like the fish people stole her. That was her having.
Well, I won't swim super duper far. I will take a couple laps around, maybe.
Okay.
But as people are moving on land and exploring the town and learning about the bold brazier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The bold brazier and the coal miner's daughter. It sounds like a.
They both
Well, I mean, in a
sound like
mining
they
town.
could be brothels.
they,
you know,
I mean,
that's
they
fair.
could probably use a couple brothels for,
Uh,
for miners.
any place is a brothel if you got enough money.
I don't know that that's true.
Is that? Do we need to fact check that one?
Someone Google
Google
that.
that.
It might be kind of true.
If you got enough money,
Everyone has a price.
Everyone has a price.
That price might vary based on who you are. You
but
know.
if
I have
there's
a
enough
price.
money, Jeff Bezos, I'll suck
Beckers,
Jeff
I have a
Bezos
price.
money for enough money.
I have
Yeah.
a price.
I think if Jeff Bezos got involved, I don't think anyone would be allowed to say no.
What?
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
He has fuck you money. Are you kidding me?
I mean, literally, fuck you money.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
So anyway,
Yeah, so everyone disembarks. There's Elio kind of makes their way off of the actual docks and kind of waits for everyone to join up as a group and looks around. Oh, is she not? Where'd she go?
I think Cookie be like, she's swimming right now.
Oh,
She's swimming with the
Yes.
fishes.
She just decided to jump off and take a swim, I guess. And it hasn't clicked in Cookie's mind that she's because she's has the fins and stuff again. She's swimming,
That's
I
fair.
guess.
everybody felt compelled to count legs, right? I just needed to know if I only had legs.
there you go.
That's-
I mean, literally, I would have as soon if this had happened to me as a real person, I would have waited until I couldn't see fish people anymore, and then would have immediately just jumped back in the water to see what happened. You know,
See,
so
I
you
thought
would.
I
Yeah.
thought about that, but I was like, I was almost kidnapped by those guys, and they
Yeah.
almost certainly wanted to eat me or sacrifice me or something. And I don't want to risk being anywhere near them when I jump back in the water because I do know they have a telepathic bond. So who knows? Maybe they know I'm in the water right now. Maybe I'm in danger. That's all going through my head right now. But also, I'm very excited that I am still a mermaid.
Yeah,
You could have
fair.
taken a bath at the inn or something, or just
That doesn't sound as fun
poured
or
water
dramatic.
poured water on yourself to see if it.
you don't know. Maybe it has to be salt
Yeah, I
water.
was just about to say,
It could-
maybe it has to be ocean water. Because taking
I
a
hope
shower,
it's salt water.
Yeah, I was like,
Am I
taking
never
a
gonna be-
shower will be interesting if it's not.
You'll just never feel fully clean.
Yeah, I just get to be
Yeah.
dirty forever. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
It's like the Midas curse. Yes, you're a mermaid, but when you're in human form, you stink.
Mm.
But there's prestidigitation, so actually no, you could basically take like a Star Trek sonic shower with prestidigitation. Anyway,
There we go.
wow, I didn't take my medicine today, so it's just been way too easy to distract me.
It's fine. Seems
so you
like
said you're
it's
gonna take
everybody today.
You know what, though, that happens. I feel like with TTRPG groups, like when you haven't gotten to play in a while, like it's just kind of fun to be like back. And so like,
yeah.
you know, you kind of have that like getting back into the groove of things episode, and then you keep playing and things get back to normal. So you said you're going to take a couple of laps, Bella. Was it like a couple laps around the ship, or like the bay is a really large area? So, you know, you could do like the immediate water or whatever. Just let me know.
What's my swim speed?
About 30 feet.
Oh,
It feels very natural, but it also doesn't feel like...
super fast.
It feels like something that you probably could, in time, like work up. Like you don't have to go through like an awkward phase where you like figure out how the new part of you works or anything like that. But it is still something that takes practice, probably.
Sure. Yeah, I probably won't go across the whole bay then. I'll probably like maybe laps as in like I identify some distant marker ish or something along the side maybe I don't know if the bay like wraps around or something and I just swim out and back a couple times. I wouldn't go around necessarily. I'd just kind of do some ladders in the water just to
Yeah. They have some buoys with like distance markers. It's used for various sailing vessels to help like gauge, you know, making landfall and things like that. So you can kind of use those. There's like a set of like 10 of them. The 10th one's like really far though. So, you know, you can decide for yourself how many of those you'd like to swim back and forth.
probably just to like the 5 just because I do want to return back to land and get to my friends, and I imagine I'm going to have to go through a drying process again.
Probably, yeah.
So
So the rest of you watch as Elio, whose name I said correctly, like digs around in one of their pockets for a second and like pulls out what looks like a little marble, and they kind of shake it and then put it up to their eye and look around for a moment and then just kind of stay like fixated, looking a specific direction.
Like a kaleidoscope.
Maybe.
Or
So
like
what
a
are you
marble.
looking at?
Bella. Looks like she's just swimming around. I'm sure she'll be back soon.
Oh, so is that like a little telescope?
Do you want to see?
Sure. And she'll just grab it and take a look through.
You hold it up to your eye, and like as you're pulling it close, you can see like it almost looks kind of greenish. And as you hold it up to your eye, it's essentially like night vision.
Ah.
And you can just kind of see off in the distance a humanoid, fishy looking figure in the water.
So would I be able to discern that she obviously has her fins and stuff again, but not quite to the
Mhm.
extent as to what it was?
It would be more like a vague shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I think she has her fins again. Huh.
Yeah. it did look-
Interesting.
yeah. I think you're right. It looked like that. I wonder if that's permanent.
Seemed fishy.
Bear, do you want to look?
Yeah.
She loves looking through telescopes
Well,
now.
yeah.
obviously.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's really cool, Bear. Like everything's a little greenish and that's kind of weird, but all the light is brighter and you can see things. Some things that aren't like, it's not even that Bella's necessarily super lit up, although the parts of her that like the moonlight and the firelight might be able to touch are definitely brighter, but it's almost like just because she's moving, you can kind of see like a vague shape. It's really interesting. Definitely magical of some kind. Some weird magic.
That's pretty neat. Thanks. Here's your marble.
Oh, I thought Bear was keeping it.
Oh, it's
Just like, oh, thanks.
pocket.
You're like,
Pocket. Yeah.
"Hey, come get it."
That's a good idea. Dang.
It's really useful for seeing far away. It works during
Absolutely.
the daytime too. It's a little different, but it helps you see things that move a little better.
Cool.
I don't know how it works. Lilia gave it to me. And they just kind of sit there. Moments pass by. There's idle chatter.
Mhm.
Bella eventually makes her way back over. They're not too far from the dock, so it's pretty easy to see that specific group, especially because Morthos is like almost 8 feet tall. So the nearly 8 foot tall person with the horns, pretty easy to pick out on the edge of land there.
Fergus.
How are you going to get out? Sorry, go ahead.
Fergus has been walking into town this entire time, and I think he's probably like halfway through the town, and then he kind of like stops and looks back like Erin does when she loses me at the store. And just like, where did they go? They were right here. I swear they were right next to me.
I love that.
All the time, pushing the cart. And I'm like, and I have to look because he just goes off and I lose him. Yep. True story. Anyways.
ADHD. How are you going to get out of the water, Bella? There's a ladder if you can pull yourself up with just your arms.
Is there a shore anywhere nearby that I could?
Yeah, it's a little rocky. But if you were careful, you could probably scoot your way up without too much ado.
I could probably be careful trying to get myself up a rock, right?
Yeah. You're, I mean, like, what are y'all, level 8? 5? 6?
Five.
5? Like, you're...
Good
you're,
question.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been long enough that I am completely unaware of that, where you're at right there. I'd have to go look for it. You are very experienced. You are well seasoned. Like a commoner is level 0, right? So a level 1 adventurer is like pretty remarkable as a person. And I think sometimes we forget that when we play TTRPGs. By the time you're level 5, you're like when I was saying like Olympic level earlier, like in my head, like 10 is average person. You have skills that are like 18 and 20 is legendary, right? So like you are a remarkable individual. You could easily avoid this in a way that the average person couldn't. Like, what's your
Done.
dex score, right? 18?
17.
17?
Nice.
Yeah. Like in my mind, that is, we forget how remarkable that is sometimes because our stats stay that way, but that's why you're an adventurer and why you're not just like plowing the land somewhere, So yeah, you can pick your way through, and it's not like you don't have
enough
use
money.
of
Awesome land.
the bold brazier, plowing land for the brazier, the bold one. You don't have like, it's not like you can't use the tail. It's more just like it doesn't quite have the stability of like the skeletal structure that like legs do. So you can still like use that to move and shift around and stuff. So it's pretty easy to do for you, but it doesn't like, it's not the most like graceful looking thing, but you can do it without hurting yourself for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll, I guess, wait out the the drying period.
Elio, when they see you like rising up above the side and can spot you, goes over to help get you up.
Oh, thanks.
How far away are we
From where?
from where Bella comes into shore?
You can see them, so you can say how far away you
I'm
might have
trying to
been.
figure out if Morthos is like, all right, I'm just gonna go do this again, or if he's just like, what are we doing? Like he's just like, what is she doing? Why,
Mhm.
like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, you see Elio like helping her scoot back up, and she's back in mermaid form, but this time there's like this ruffly fin on the side that's really delicate looking and pretty.
To be clear, she looks different than she did last time.
There's like an addition,
More
like an accessory.
More fishy.
Oh God, am I gonna get fishier every time I get in the water? Oh no. Is this, oh man, God. Well, I can breathe underwater.
It's like
Who
the
cares?
13th year.
It's like,
Wait, what's that?
It's a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, it's a Disney Channel movie where he,
Of course it is.
he discovers that his mom a mermaid?
His real mom is a mermaid.
Yeah.
And he discovers
Oh,
when he
yeah.
turns 13 that, well, actually, I think both of his parents are mermaids, but mermaids raise their young on land or something. So he was like adopted off the beach. And then when he turns 13, every time he touches water, he starts to turn a little bit more into a mermaid every time he starts touching water. And then eventually he's just like all mermaid.
Dang.
crazy.
Maybe he's only half mermaid.
I don't remember.
Maybe just his mom was the mermaid, but he met his
What
mom.
counts
She's
as half
definitely
mermaid?
a mermaid. What? Means sometimes he can be human.
Never mind. Oh, okay. I was just like,
Because I think he was able to go
aren't,
back.
aren't all mermaids half mermaid?
No,
Oh, they're all
that's-
mermaids. They're just
fish.
half humanoid.
Well, that's what those things are both.
So it
true.
sounds like he's a selkie.
So wait, so could a half mermaid appear to be fully human if their
yes.
human half was legs and their mermaid half
I'm
was
looking up
top?
selkie.
Selkies are, I think they're an Irish mythos. Seals, they are like fey creatures that would pop up out of the water as seals, but then would shed the seal skin and would usually be like beautiful women. And there's a story where some man stole and locked away her seal skin.
There's a movie
She
that
was
came
stuck
out in
there
the
on
year
land.
2000 about that's called Selkie. A lonely teen gets a new lease
I bet
on
that's what
life
happened.
when he
Well,
comes
welcome
upon a
to
group
Movie
of
Talk.
Selkies.
That doesn't sound like a movie. That sounds like a different. Oh man, it's a
No, it
2000
was
movie. You said.
It says they give him a
I'm
new
kidding.
lease on life.
Yeah, they also said he was a teenager. So given the lore,
It actually,
there's really only one way.
yeah.
Oh, it's in Australia.
It says
though.
it's family. So I think someone just has
Yeah.
a very dirty mind
Different.
today.
I mean, we made like 18 dick jokes in the last hour, so like, and also I generally do. So it is what it is.
If the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah. She's relatively nearby, Morthos. You drying her off, or you gonna let her do her own thing? Or I guess, are you taking the impetus to do so because she could always just ask for that too?
yeah, I feel like Morthos is like, no, he's waiting to be asked.
Okay. I don't know what's
He
going
wants
on
to be
here.
wanted.
How close by is he?
However close you wanted to get. You could kind of choose. You could see where they were at, so you could choose where you made your way up. But they're like probably 30 feet or so from like the edge of the water.
Okay, so I spot Morthos, and then I look at Elio, and I give them a little wink, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could have a fan again.
All right, yeah, he'll take the bait. Morthos is taking that bait. He's coming over. He's like, oh yeah, little pep in his step, right? Gonna do his prestidigitation. Sorry, I just completely prestidigitation.
I love that.
I thought that was like a purposeful.
I know. It's like that's how Morthos would probably sound
No,
right
I got
now.
excited, and that's when.
Yeah, honestly, that's how Morthos should say it.
Prestidigimonitation.
Yeah. You Digimoned yourself again? Oh,
Ah, jeez, could you not?
Ah, jeez. Yeah. Same sort of like off the prow, hair billowing in the wind, cool drying process, transformation. It's like, those mermaid pillows where it's like one color one way and one color when you shift them the other way. It's almost like that. Things like flip over almost, this weird optical illusion when she's switching back. And you have legs again.
Thank you so much, Morthos.
it wasn't that hard. You're welcome.
That's what she said.
my God.
I hope she didn't have to say that.
Come on.
God, especially if it's drying you off. Anyway,
Yeah. Morthos is the number one dryer.
number
This
2.
episode, man.
Number 2. No, I'm not gonna finish that joke. I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Oh no.
This process is happening, and you hear like a squeal somewhere, like generally behind you all, and then the sound of quick, light feet. And you, Bella, as facing out while everyone's watching you, you see a little girl making a beeline for the
What does her
the
face
group
look
of you.
like? She squealed, but does she look excited?
She looks
or
like a little girl who
horrified?
just saw a mermaid.
Oh, okay.
Frightened.
So she
Yeah.
looks delighted.
Yes. She comes running up and she's like panting and her face is all rosy by the time she gets there and like the firelight flickering over it. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you a mermaid?"
Sometimes I think so. Yeah.
You can just switch back and forth. Have you always been a mermaid?
No,
No,
she needs me to be there to
Pretty new.
switch back, actually.
that's true. I do need Morthos' help every time.
Can you make me a mermaid? She's looking at Morthos.
No, it's like the one way, the other way. I can make you on a mermaid.
I'm already not a mermaid. How did you get a mermaid? We get to be. I want to be a mermaid.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it because they tried to kidnap me and take me away from my friends, and that was really scary.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't
even though
sound
I
good.
now have a cool mermaid tail, it was a bit of a scary experience for my friends and I.
Could you take me out there and not let them capture me and make me a mermaid?
Probably not. I wish I could
Like I know
because
this guy with a boat. He'll take you.
no,
Get on that.
God.
Get on this boat.
Just
I mean,
send the
I
child
was like,
on the
we
ship. We can like side quest this right now.
Sacrifice the child.
It's like, okay, forget this Moonshae deal. We gotta go get this kid to become a mermaid. It'll be fine.
Where are your parents?
And then
Hold
wait,
on.
the rest of the campaign is just
kidnap
us
her.
started. No,
Yeah,
it's not
did
kidnap.
they-
It's not a kidnap if the kid wants to go. That's not how
We're
kidnapping
literally
works.
This is a
pointing her in the
little
right
kid.
direction.
This is a little
Yeah, she's-
kid.
Human. She probably looks like 7.
This is a little. So that would be
7 is old
kidnapping.
enough.
No.
That's not consent.
If you're old enough
Old
to become
enough.
a Pokemon trainer, you're old enough to become a mermaid.
That's right.
So 10.
She's still
That's
not
true.
old.
Come see me in a few years, kid. How old are you?
I'm this many.
Oh, cute. Okay, well, you have to be at least this many to become a mermaid, okay?
We'll be back in 3 years. Make sure you have your payment ready.
Give me,
Oh.
give
Start
me a down
saving.
payment. How much money you got on you?
How much does it cost?
What do you got?
Your soul, probably?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing anything with that.
My friends are so
what I said.
silly. Like, don't mind
Cookie.
them.
Save us.
Cookie's like, what are you
Yeah,
saying?
she's just like the whole time. She's just been like
Like I would have accepted
shaking
fruit
in the
snacks.
corner.
I would have accepted fruit snacks. I don't have anything on me but this message that I have to deliver.
I'll
But
take that.
well, I
What
can't.
message?
It's not for you. It's just for the baker.
It's like, you want to be a mermaid or not?
Baker, baker.
Well, I can deliver it to the baker.
I point at Cookie. That's the baker.
Well,
She's
I'm
also
not
a
the
baker.
local baker, but I am a
Cookie,
baker.
just
You're the
be
baker.
cool.
I just run messages for people sometimes.
Oh,
Does the baker have a name?
The baker gives me a free bun if I deliver
Oh,
their
so
messages.
not our baker.
No, I don't
Oh.
know you. Hi. I just wanted
Hi.
to be a mermaid.
You just.
It's really
Well,
cool, but I wouldn't
Sorry, I'm
recommend.
not a mermaid anymore.
Not how she did it.
It's really concerning how this whole interaction has
it's
gone.
so bad. I don't
for
know
this
how to
group.
rescue this.
What was the last thing
Cookie
you said,
probably
Darren?
would. It's so bad I don't know how to rescue this. Cookie might know, but Aaron doesn't know what to say for Cookie. So.
What was the last thing you said, Darian, though?
I just said I'm not a mermaid anymore.
Oh, that's
I
fair.
want to persuade this child for the note. I need to know that there's a note. I need to know what it says.
Well, I don't know how to read.
Can I just like see it really quick? I don't know if I know how to
Okay, but you
read.
can't take it. And she
Tell
holds
her,
it up.
tell her you used to be a bear.
Don't do that.
She held it up, right?
Yeah, she's holding it up.
Can I read? Do you guys think I should be able to?
Well, Belladonna could read, I
Were
would
you-
assume. If
Well,
she-
that depends on your backstory. Were you a bear that just magically turned into a human, or were you a human first?
I
And then
feel
you
like
turned
this
into a
was
bear and now
determined
you're a
many
human again?
episodes
I
ago
was-
that Bear could read.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I can read. What I read it.
Perfect.
It looks like a message where it's like there are several what is the word I'm thinking of? It's been back and forth. It started off with a request for ingredients, and it was run to somebody who had ingredients, who wrote back what they did and didn't have and what the cost would be for them. And then the last one is the confirmation of what they wanted and the promise to pay upon delivery of the goods.
I would like to read the note and see if there's thieves' cant in it.
Ooh, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I rolled a 12.
Doesn't seem to be.
Oh, okay.
Just looks like somebody ordering
This is
groceries.
mundane.
Sounds suspicious.
I'm bored. Let's go to the Bold Brazier.
This sounds
That's not
suspicious. We'll speed up
suspicious.
the baker.
They just don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
We are
Don't
on
be
one today.
We should ask if this kid has seen Fergus. Have you seen a large green guy?
Do you look angry?
Yeah, he looked
Generally,
angry.
yeah.
Yeah. Which way did he go?
She like points down a street.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's find him. I feel like he shouldn't be on his own right now.
He's probably going to be mad.
Okay, but if you can find another way to make me a mermaid, I'll be here.
I'll know where to find
If I find a way to safely make you a mermaid, I will send you a magical note and you will know it's from me.
All right.
Oh, I know it's from you.
We'll be back.
guess
Because
it's a
it'll
magical
arrive
note.
magically.
Mhm.
We'll be back
Okay,
in
that's
3
fair.
years to drag you
She
into
just
the
told you
ocean.
about the situation, so if that happens, like,
yeah. If
Who else
someone,
is saying
that?
if someone else explains how to safely become a mermaid, then don't trust
That's
that.
outside of my control. I can't do
Yeah.
anything about that.
Then let me know
Okay.
what they said.
How will you know where to send it to? Magic just knows?
I don't know the kid's name.
What's your name?
Amelia. Wait, why is that funny? Oh no.
Amelia?
It's a lot like Emilio.
Oh my god! Oh, my brain! I'm coming up with a new name. Oh my god, why is that like
Katie knows one name.
Everyone
That's it.
is something like Amelia. You all-
I'm shocked that that wasn't like a setup for that.
I thought that was.
no, because my brain. So what happened was I asked Darian what name. I asked her for a name in the last session, and it started with a C. And
Celia.
the first thing that came to mind was another C name, and I was like, no, your brain's just stuck on C names for femmes right now. Pick something else. So I was like, A name, Amelia. But so. So then, of course, I look down, and the first name that's here is Chelsea, and I'm like, not a C name.
Should have said Tina.
Mirabelle.
Oh no, it's Amelia. You can't take it back.
Okay, it's Amelia. All right, well, so this is
I'm so
I'm
happy.
writing this down.
It matches this episode's energy already.
I am so happy right now.
That's true. Oh God, my brain. Okay, the 7-year-old child named
Amelia.
non-ironically somehow
Accidentally.
Amelia
Well, like
on accident.
in universe, there's no Emilio,
Yeah,
or
it's true.
is there?
Not
There
yet.
there was an Emilio void that had to be filled, and Amelia popped into existence.
The universe
Saw an
calls for
opportunity and took it.
Emilio.
Oh, I ruined
True.
my face. You made me
All right,
cry.
Amelia.
Maybe my brain will let that go now.
That was the finale.
Yeah.
the culmination of the actual next arc was just finding that character.
Here comes
Congratulations.
Emily?
Oh my God. And I have to
Angelo.
write down that I can't name.
Emily. Emily.
Oh no.
Emily?
Amelie?
Emily?
Like the movie?
Emily? Yeah. There's a good My Brother and Me skit where they just say Emily a lot. That's really
Oh my
funny.
God. So she says her name is Amelia and asks you how you were going to be able to, like, how it was going to find her or whatever.
Well, Amelia, I have a magic way of sending notes, and as long as I have your name, I don't know. She may be lying. She might be lying about this. She's not sure. She's
I think
trying
the
to be
way-
honest, though.
Yeah, I think the way the magic was written was basically like, you're familiar enough with the person, then it should be able to find its way. So you've seen her and you know her name. It's your
Perfect.
intention. You intend for it to arrive to this person that you know of that exists.
Yeah, the name you uttered.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, brain. All right. As long as I have your name and I can picture you. Now, I don't know if enough time passes and the way that you look changes, if that will matter necessarily, but I'll do my best. And if I learn how to safely turn you into a mermaid, I will let you know.
Okay.
Or I'll let you know that I'm on my way to let you know.
What's your name?
I'm Bella.
Hi, Bella.
Hello.
Hey, I hope to get your note soon. And she like turns and skips away.
Let's go.
I
find
hope she
Fergus.
forgets about us.
I don't know. It seemed like that's what she wore. Yeah.
That character's entire arc is just gonna be about tracking you. Like, if there's like
Waiting
a
for
time,
your
Hunt
note.
you down one
If
day.
there's
The
like a
birth of an adventurer?
no, there's gonna be like a 5-year time skip somewhere in the middle of the
Wow.
campaign, and then that
3
character will
years.
show up, like
Spoilers.
come to kill you for not ever like
Oh.
be like you. I put all my hopes and dreams on this, and you let me down.
Well,
See,
if she forgets about
In my
us,
mind. Go ahead.
if she forgets about us, it's going to be really awkward when we come back in 3 years and throw her into the ocean.
I was thinking, like, if there were a time skip and this character were to show back up, it would be as like somebody singing a song about the girl who promised to make her a mermaid, like in a like I don't know, in like some sort of festival or something, like. And like Bryce is like coming to kill you, and I'm like singing a song about how cool that was.
Aww.
DM styles are different, you know? I like making people cry with like not by punishing them or whatever, but by like giving them cool moments. So expect things like that along the way.
Expect
Anyway.
the unexpected.
Backers expect for all your mistakes to come back with stabs. With swords
I've never made a
involved.
mistake.
Oh.
That's how you avoid the stabs.
You won't give me a solid backstory for Marina, so
I
will
gave you
create
one.
Your backstory was like I used to live in the woods and now I live in Boulder's Gate.
Yeah.
That's a backstory.
That's a
What
backstory.
do I look like? A writer?
Anyway,
Better than Bear's backstory, which is I don't remember.
You know what though? That just means I get to make it up.
Yeah.
Mhm. Katie's good at it.
Thank you. I try. I like having a little bit of wiggle room in backstories. So
You know what?
It just kind of means that
if
you
you
get
ever
to work
decide
things
on
in.
one and you just want to surprise me with it, just do it. It'll be great.
That's the plan.
I'm excited.
Like, of course. Yeah. When you were like, yeah, here are some things, and other than that, she probably wouldn't remember. I was like, okay.
Someone walks up and they're like, oh my God, Tina, it's been 10 years. And I'll just be like, what?
What?
Who the fuck are you?
That's basically
What do you
how
mean, what?
Adaro.
We were married for each other.
All the children.
No,
Oh, no.
no. What'll be great is if she comes to a town and like 5 people come up telling her different, like they all recognize her but tell her different things about herself.
Oh man.
How could you
And it
do
turns
it?
out she's
Rachel.
one of a set of pentuplets.
Oh my God.
or
They're all
or
evil. Except for me.
or she's a grifter and has tricked a bunch of people with different backstories.
Ooh.
Now I'm giving too many great ideas.
No, I already have her. I've already got a whole thing.
It's already planned.
So-
Bryce is like, but if you
sorry,
wanted
Bryce.
to change it, think about that.
If you like any of the ideas he said, you might have to message me because I've already got a lot planned.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So you take off to go find Fergus, right? Is the plan?
Yep.
Now that Bella has feet again.
We need guidance of some kind, please. Yes.
So y'all head the direction that the little girl, Amelia, pointed. And
the hard
So, Fergus, I know you said you got like, to a certain point and you had that moment of looking back and realizing that you'd left everyone behind. What did you do after that?
I think for the what I had pictured was that like Fergus kind of like wandered about for a bit and then he like found. Would there be like homeless people in this town?
Oh yeah.
He found like like a homeless guy like warming his hands by like a barrel and he's just like, so what's your favorite food? And then like go ahead.
Roll me a 1d100, please.
95.
Ooh, 95, all the way to the bottom. Oh my god. It's okay.
It's Emilio.
No, I scrolled all the way to the bottom, and whoever made this list, they put 102 people on here. I thought it was 100, and number 102 is Mike Wazowski. So I laughed because of that. All right, 95. So you're speaking to a gnome. They are standing and warming their hands over, some kind of like metallic thing, but there's no material inside to light the fire. The fire seems to exist on its own. And pretty tall for a gnome, about 3'2". Really deep black hair, unkempt, unbrushed. There's like a wild look about them, which I guess is what made Fergus assume that this person was homeless. Although they are like acting the part, I guess. You ask their favorite food.
Let me and right here it's chowder.
It doesn't have that, but I'm reading what it does is it's got appearance, personality, backstory, quirks. So I'm scanning through and the backstory is like 2 lines.
Came from the woods. Doesn't remember who they were before they became a gnome.
It's rabbit. Nothing better than rabbit stew. Brace of conies. Put in some nice taters.
You seem like a good guy. Have I ever told you about fish pirates?
No, I've never met you before, so you've never told me anything.
Okay. Well, so here's the 7 things about fish pirates you need to know. Don't let them take your legs. If they do take your legs, you need to stab them until they give them back to you. Don't go in the water. And about this point, people are probably like walking up and seeing me like narrate these things to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of people who were passing by have like stopped confused at this conversation and are listening.
Oh, I'm
you're saying the party has gotten
I'm saying
there?
the group would have like caught up to me at this
Okay.
point.
Oh.
You all heading down the street notice a few people kind of like congregating around like the side of a building and like peeking up barely over the tops of most of their heads. You just see the top of Fergus's head. He's in the middle of talking to a gnome who looks really confused. Just really confused.
So if you do get one, you can soak them in like a warm bath for about like 6 days. Put some potatoes, and I know that's why like you would be down for this, and some like frog broth, and you get stew for like 6 days. Now I haven't tried it myself, but my mom swears by it, so gotta be good. She made the best swamp stew. And swamp stew, as you look like a man who would know. It has frogs, lizards, toads. I know, frogs and toads, but it works. It works. If you do it right, you gotta get like the measurements just right. And depending on how the water is flowing, you get some rabbit in there. So, you know what I'm saying? You and me, we go get some toads. We're eating good tonight. So, my name's Fergus, and I'm trying to become king of Faraway. Can I have your vote?
So do you put the fish people in the stew? Is that
yes.
cannibalism, though?
No, see,
like it seems.
See, you stab them
make
first.
a habit of eating people.
You need to stab the fish pirates, or the stew's not good. You need to stab them, and then you put them in.
Murder and then eat them.
Yes.
People.
No, see, they're fish pirates, and those are bad but delicious.
Friend, I don't think somebody's occupation makes them edible.
Would you eat a rabbit?
Rabbit's not a person. Herringon's a person. Wouldn't eat a herringon.
What's the difference between a herringon and a rabbit?
You ever met a herringon?
Yeah, I have. And we
he was delicious.
Oh, no.
Fed us for a month.
I've seen him. I've seen him far in the land of far away, about as far as you can see. And that's not a
far away.
Yeah. It's not. But
well, see, they're people, and they like talk to you and stuff. And I just, where I'm from, we don't make a habit of eating people. I guess this is a cultural difference that we have.
See, I had a dog.
Understanding.
Back in my swamp. I had a dog. His name was Pluto, and there was also down across the road. There was a dog man, and he had a job, and he got to do things all he wanted. And I always asked my parents, was like, why does that guy get to just like live his life when our dog don't get to do that? And then it's like, some dogs get to live their lives, and some dogs got to hang out with you. And I learned a lot about life that day.
Was the dog person able to talk?
I mean,
oh yeah.
any creature can talk if you understand what they're saying.
I mean, communication is one thing, but I think the thing that separates like what we at least generally think of as edible or not is like the higher thinking that comes with communication. It's usually just signified by tool use and speaking. So, it's one thing to bark because something might be dangerous. It's another thing to assess the situation and surmise danger, and then communicate that to your comrades so that you can defend yourselves.
Morthos is going to say quietly to the group, he's not well.
No, he's not doing good.
And maybe push Cookie a little bit, like do something about
Do
this.
something.
I feel like in the land of D&D where you can literally talk to an animal and
You can, but most animals talk in like ideas and pictures. When someone like that's how the spells are supposed to work, is that they can convey ideas, but they don't like use. It depends on their intelligence.
yeah.
Which is really what the character is getting at, because like when something has like the awaken spell, if something has an intelligence of 2 or less, which most beasts do, I think it fails, or one of those spells, you literally can't awaken them. So you can talk to them,
Yeah.
but you're kind of like magically imbuing their brain with the capacity to understand.
Fergus is indicating he has no respect for fish people
I'm seeing this.
fish pirates specifically, like not
Mhm.
not fish people, like fish people. Like Fergus understands the difference between any old fish person and someone
I have friends that are
considers
fish
to be
people,
a fish.
and they're great. They're outstanding people, but fish pirates, those are the worst.
Oh yeah, I had a fish buddy, greatest guy. He would swim up the swamp, give me a little high five every day. We hung out all the time.
I am not dissuading Fergus from this line of reasoning. I just think that generally, if you walk up to a stranger in a town you've never been to and you start encouraging them to eat people, they probably wouldn't take it like in a like, yeah, that does sound like a great idea, because you're calling them fish people, So like that,
Fish pirates. I am every time I am saying fish pirates.
Okay.
Does Fergus have something against halflings also?
Oh yeah,
Was that-
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Umbridge.
which yeah, if she had said he was a halfling, this would be a whole different conversation.
It's literally in the thing. Here is a gnome. If they had been a halfling, it would have been hilarious. But nope.
But I when looking at the languages Fergus knew, like it has halfling next to orc, and I kind of laughed because it was like he's a half orc.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, he hates halflings for more obvious reasons.
So Cookie will just kind of go up and just kind of lay her hand on like Fergus's shoulder and be like, "Hey, buddy, how about we go find an inn and we call it a night?"
I think Fergus is like engrossed. Like he's I think he's having like a theological or a philosophical debate right now.
Mhm.
About like what is a person and what is food. Especially I think like with Fergus's upbringing, he definitely sees a lot more things as food than most people would.
That's fair. That's fair.
And sees a lot more things as people than most people would. So that's why I think his line between what's food and people is a little bit like a lot of things are people, a lot of things are food.
That's fair.
And I think Cookie doing the like baby talk to him kind of like he doesn't like that tone. It feels very like
Patronizing.
Yeah, patronizing. But so Fergus kind of just like here then he goes, "There you guys are. I thought you like got lost."
We did.
These your friends?
He like looks at Bella and just kind of like checks her legs and and just goes, "I think so."
Not gonna eat them.
No.
Just checking.
None of them are fish pirates, and he like eyes Belladonna as he says that.
I am not a fish pirate.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
We'll see. I got a good recipe if
gnome-
you turn out to be one, though.
Yikes.
The gnome snaps
I'm not
their
gonna eat her.
fingers, and the air like shifts behind them, and they kind of like reach over and open up an interdimensional space of some kind and reach in and grab a book and close it, pop it open.
Show off.
So what was your... Can you explain to me where you come from? What determines friend, not food?
Well, fish are friends, not food. So
Thank you.
Some fishes are friends.
and some fishes are all also not food.
Food is anything that you can eat that won't make you sick.
No.
That seems pretty loose.
That's food. I think that is very like. I think if you grew up the way Fergus grew up, it was like the rules were if you eat it and you didn't throw up, that's food.
Fergus, you by that logic, your mom would be food.
But if they nice to you and they treat you well, those are friends. Now
We don't eat those.
There's a lot of overlap in those definitions.
There is. There's a lot of
there's
overlap
a
in
line
lot
that
of
you're
definitions.
crossing. But once you cross into the friend, you're no longer food.
Well, you don't eat your friends unless they offer. Some friends.
This is the real friend zone. The other friend zone isn't real, but this is the real friend zone. Fergus puts you there when you're not edible. You're in the friend zone.
If one of his friends offered them said like, "Hey, do you want to like?" If his
Please, what if they said, "Hey, do you want to?"
yeah.
Please finish the sentence.
If he became friends with a
This.
cheese person, he's not going to eat the cheese person just because they're cheese.
If you would like to consume my flesh,
But
I would
if the
consent to
cheese
that.
person says, "Hey man, I am tasting delicious today. You want to chew on my finger?" He'd probably be like, "Hey man, if you're down to clown, yeah, you say you're real
Sure.
edible." It's all about like permission and like the second you are a threat to Fergus, your ability to decide if you are food or not goes out the window.
Okay.
And Fergus treats all fish pirates as threats. That was like rule number 4 of his mom taught him. Like all fish pirates are threats.
All right. We've all learned something very valuable today.
How Fergus sees the world in both
Yeah.
people and food.
It's like there's no animal, vegetable, mineral. There's food and friends. That's it.
And food friends, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become food.
Yeah.
The gnome has been like riding furiously as you're talking, not angry, like quickly. And it looks like now that you've kind of like finished your definitions, they like are making like a quick sketch, like roughly of you. And like you're talking about like growing up in the swamp and they're like making notes or something. Close the book.
I do not think this is going to help his election.
Here's the thing. Well, okay.
Hmm.
I think it would help my election in the swamp, but I'm not trying to get elected in the swamp. I'm trying to get elected in Far Away, which is obviously fancier than the swamp.
You need a campaign manager.
Since I don't live in Far Away, I can't vote for you. But I think just in general, unless that's a cultural norm.
I
of
mean,
that
you could
place,
move to
you
Far
probably-
Away. I'm not against promoting Far Away tourism. Or
That's fair.
Immigration.
Yeah.
If I find myself moving to this place, I would consider you among the possibilities, I suppose.
I
because
suppose
have to.
that is how elections work.
Mhm.
Typically, you don't consider the non-possibilities, but I'll take that as a good sign or a bad sign. It's certainly a sign. And here's your
That's a
sign.
sign.
Anyway,
This is so goofy.
and Fergus goes. So, what was your name, Rabbit Stew?
Do you want to write it down, or do you just want me to say it?
It's
It's real long.
No, I'll remember.
Bimbly Nickel Penny, Grim Brutal, Big Noodle, Wigglesworth, Matters More, Motion Ocean, Tinker Tanker, Blister Blaster, De Plume. after service.
Some of that was interesting.
So
That was a ride.
Yeah,
That was exciting.
you rolled a 95. That's what we've got here. Bindley.
If only I hit that 102, I could be talking to Mike Wazowski right now, and that man would agree. That man would agree with me on what's good eating.
Sorry, I had a ringing in my ear. Could you say your name again?
I'm gonna insight check.
Fuck.
Rolled poorly, doesn't matter. Normally people say something like that, they are making fun of me, but it seems like you might have actually had a problem. Do you want the full name again, or do you just want the...
What do you go by?
Bimbley.
Bimbley.
Bimbley de Plume.
That'll do.
That'll do, Bimbley.
Bimbley.
And Fergus ruffles around in his bag and grabs one of his like Fergus bog for King of Faraway flyers and
Yeah.
kind of like gently sets it inside the book that he had been writing in, kind of like a little like bookmark. There you go. And my name's Fergus Bog.
Bog like a swamp.
Yeah.
Practical. Seems like things were real practical where you grew up. I travel around a bit, study cultures. I'm here in this town right now studying because of the changes it's been going through.
What kind of changes? Did they like have fish pirates?
No fish pirates. I wouldn't advise eating anyone here.
I mean,
Personally.
it depends. It depends on if they'd try and steal my legs or not.
Or if they'd make you sick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if they see most races you don't eat just because they'll make you sick. That's the thing you got to think about. Like,
But not that rabbit
honestly,
guy.
wouldn't eat any of these people here because they make me sick. They ain't good eating.
That's rude.
Fish pirates, they got enough fish in them that they're good eating, and also they'll steal your legs. And if someone tries and steals your legs, you are allowed to eat them. I don't care what they say in where are you from?
Around.
I don't care what they say in around, but someone tries to steal your legs, you're allowed to eat them. It's up to you if you do or not, but you're allowed to.
Fergus, how do you feel about crawdads?
Are they dads? Are they craw? Who knows?
I love the way they sing. Those were back where I came from. Those were the bards we had.
No.
Who was it that asked what the changes were? Was that you? Or was that Bella?
No, that was me.
Okay. I'm just making sure that I answered the question.
Well, yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't answer. I was like, "What are the changes? Do they have fish pirates?" And
That's what it was, right.
You answered the second part. So what is different?
Oh, well, town's just grown a lot in the last couple of years. After and someone new moved in, moneyed individual, I suspected that they might have maybe taken over things a little bit, and I think it might be right. I don't know. Haven't been here long enough to really suss things out fully.
Can I roll persuasion real quick to see how convincing I was on selling him on Fergus Bog
sure.
for King?
Ooh.
Give me 12 minutes to look back. 18.
All right. So, cutting back to the moment when you hand him the flyer, I think the thing I was going to say, and then we got off on a tangent, was that it looked like a very official looking flyer. It says, "Looks like you put a lot of effort into it. Can't say it's the worst campaign I've ever heard of."
I mean, I'll treat the kingdom well. We got I got the proper lineage of the kingdom. My mother was next in line. She died, and so now it's me. And then after that, it's my wolf here.
Is that your son?
I mean, yeah, adopted him. future prince. I'll be the king, and then he'll be the prince, and then maybe we'll find him a wife, and then keep the line going.
You don't plan
Suppose
to
I could
have
have
a wife?
another kid, but I mean, but even if I did, if I got another kid, then it would be up to Rascal if he wanted to pass the lineage, because he would be the oldest.
Do you think Rascal would be the best fit to be the king?
I mean, sometimes I think it's about who wants it the most. And looking at those little puppy dog eyes, I can tell that this is gonna be the right guy for the job.
I can cast Speak with Animals right now. We can settle this.
I don't think you need to do that. I got a connection with my guy here, and
Well, I don't know that he particularly has
you wanna be-
aspirations. What's going on?
I think I feel like I've talked to him of like addressed him several times if privately of like, hey, by the way, like you are next in line for King of Faraway after we return and reclaim our title. And it is also a thing of like Fergus Bog will tell people like, hey, you should vote for me. It's really just the deal of like, it is a, kinghood thing, but he wants the people to support him in his claim of retaking it. He wants people to be like, yeah, man, we want this guy to be king. Like, fuck off whoever is in charge right now. Fergus Bog's our man.
So there is no election.
Yeah, there's not a proper election. But if
monarchy,
everyone in the kingdom is like, hey, this guy's our king, he kind of becomes the king. That's kind of how that works.
Why are you king? I didn't vote for you. The Monty Python. You think that he, I guess, make an insight check so you can, you know what your role was, but you don't know, in order to read him,
Read him like a book. A nat 20. I am reading him like a lemon. You just wrote on his book. You wrote on a book. Real electable.
Real electable. So you have found this person to be either deftly sidestepping any sort of conflict in conversation, or pretty open-minded and interested in learning what your perspective is and trying to discern whether or not it's legitimately your perspective. And you think that he is intrigued by how the chaos energy emanating from you, and whether any of this stuff is true, but he doesn't seem put off by it.
He should be.
The rest of the group is
Yes, the group is like, Fergus is sick.
I mean,
something happened.
The rest of the I suppose the rest of the group would have caught the general conversation about what is and is not food, because they showed up. You even specified that was when they showed up. I thought you were talking about random people. You could have avoided them ever knowing about that whole conversation. I stand by this point of view that in the world of D&D, what is and is not people is up to. If his favorite food can be rabbit stew and herringon exist, don't tell me there's that much difference between the two. What's a herringon but a real fancy rabbit?